All right, we're live. What's up, everyone? Welcome to podcast number 68 of BRAP. And little short today. Big shout out to our man B Money. Him and his wife just had number 4, baby number 4. So big shout out to him. Congratulations to him and his family. So he will not be joining us tonight. Mr. Megative. He's actually competing with us tonight. SDGCs are actually live, but don't go check them out. Check us out tonight because they're not really talking about anything. And Eric Jackson couldn't join us tonight, but we have Fastback, and we have Fastback is returning. This is, I think, your second time, right? Your second time with the podcast, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, sure is. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. We got Kofi.
Y'all hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
What's going on, man?
Kofi, thank you for jumping on, man. We appreciate it. I know it was kind of last minute.
It's all good, man. I just got back from work. I'm just trying to set up my OBS and stuff. So I'm like, let me just hop on real quick.
No worries, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. We have Jack Move Johnny. Jack Move, this is, I think, your third time back on the podcast. Welcome back.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Kofi, this is your second time back, man. So thank you again, man. Welcome back.
Yeah, no problem, man.
So, Kofi, we're definitely going to talk some Nintendo news, man, because I know you're big on the Switch.
I'm like the ambassador, eh?
Dude, let me tell you something, man. I think people are sleeping on the Switch.
They are sleeping on the Switch. Like Jack Moo right there. He's sleeping on the Switch too.
Hey, watch your mouth.
Yeah, Jack, I'm telling you, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch.
Craziness.
So good.
Craziness, man. Craziness. I love it.
Yeah. Take it anywhere you go on the fly. It's great. It's amazing. All right, gentlemen. So why don't we, because we're running a couple minutes late, why don't we dive into what everyone's playing real quick? I'll start off with our guest this evening. Jack Moo, why don't we go with you, man? What are you playing right now?
Just got through streaming Dark Souls 3. Terrible experience. Let me think. What have I been playing? Oh, I was playing Wonder Boy and the Dragon's Trap. I just recently beat that today.
What do you think of that game?
It's like I like it and I hate it at the same time because I love what they were doing. It's a remake of the 1989 game, Wonder Boy 3, and the Dragon's Trap. I believe it was called the same thing, if I'm not mistaken. But
on the Master System, yep.
Yeah, on the Master. The main problem with their game is it's too faithful to the original. Most of the time they remake games, people want them to, stay true to what it was. But I think that game could have benefited from if they utilized more modern mechanics and checkpoints and stuff like that. But it's a cool game, So what else have I been playing? I can't even remember, bro. This is crazy. Oh yeah, I've been playing Outlast 2. That's pretty much it's not this game. I'll say after around 4 hours of me playing, it did get a little bit creepier. But overall, would I say it's scary? Not really. I prefer Outlast 1.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that they prefer Outlast 1 to Outlast 2.
Yeah. It was just a tighter script, tighter gameplay. It made sense. Like, this game really don't make no sense, bro. Like, it has no logical, I don't know. It's okay.
I feel like a lot of the things that work for Outlast 2 also work against it in terms of the open-ended design of the levels and whatnot.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. All right. Is that it in terms of games you're playing right now? Or?
Yeah, that's pretty much it, yeah.
All right. Fastback, what about you, man? What are you playing right now?
Still working on Ghost Recon. I try to get on that when some of the friends get on there to finish that up. Finished up Watch Dogs too. I'm also trying to get back to some of my backlog before I jump into new games, which of course I just downloaded Planet Base, which is it's a strategy based game. Like you go to Mars and different planets, set up your colony and stuff like that. I guess it's I figured instead of jumping into City Skyline, I decided to jump on another planet. So it's kind of similar to that. And then I played a little bit of Rise because I didn't jump on that when it came out. So,
dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'm playing Rise for the second time again. I like it. I like it a lot better the second time around.
I do like it. It's fun to play.
I would give it a
makes
9.
you feel like
what?
makes you feel like you're really kicking ass in the game.
Yeah.
When you're
Yeah. If I can interject, I've been playing that as well, and I have to say, I really do think it got some unfair treatment. Like, I think people judged it a bit harshly. There's something to it.
You think
a lot of people said it looked good, and it does. Maybe some of the game mechanics are a little clunky here and there, but overall, I'm enjoying it. The story's not bad either.
No, the story's all right. It's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. I would get, like Jack Move. I was saying I would give it a 9 right now.
Oh wow.
I know people are like, this guy's fucking crazy. No, I would.
I mean, that game does, because I like, God of War games like that. So the Greek, Roman, mythology story. I think it do look interesting. I'm not gonna even lie.
I think they missed the. Well, who knows? Maybe there could be a Rise 2 or something similar, but they missed a mark. That could have been like a God of War like game, and build upon the Rome and mythology, but
it's not too late. Not too late.
Nope. Microsoft actually offered to buy the IP.
Yeah.
Back in early 2015, and Crytek turned them down. And I'm just like, Crytek, but you're wishing you had that
where's
cash
Crytek right now? So.
Yeah, you know what's funny?
Yeah,
they need money. They need the money. They could have just taken that money. They would have been fine.
Mm-hmm. Plus, I mean, Crytek has had to sell off a lot of their studios. They're a way smaller company than they used to be.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. Crytek, that's crazy that they would think that they're having financial issues like that. Yeah.
Man, that's it for me.
All right. Kofi, what about you, man?
Man, I think it's pretty damn obvious what I've been playing lately. Especially if you follow me on Twitter and stuff. I feel like I've been posting a shit ton of Mario Kart stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I was playing Persona 5 before this. Then this game came out, and I'm like, fuck Persona.
Whoa.
Whoa. So let me hop on this Mario Kart real quick, and I've been having a blast, man.
How hot is Persona 5 though?
It's really good. I'm gonna get back to it. I'm currently on 200cc. I'm trying to get all 3 stars in all of these Grand Prix. As soon as I do that, I'm hopping back on Persona 5.
Yeah. How many hours have you logged in Persona 5?
About only 3. I believe 3 hours. I'm not very far. What I've noticed about the game is it's very, very, very story driven, heavily. If you are jumping into this game thinking you're gonna be doing a lot of turn-based combat right away, you're not. You know what I'm saying? You're doing a lot of walk around talking, which is cool. I'm invested in the story though. Yeah. I'm actually really interested to see what up. I'm gonna hop back on after I just finish up this Mario Kart 2. I'm almost done.
Nice. All right. So just Mario Kart then.
Yeah, mostly right now. I've been playing Mario Kart heavily since it came out. Yeah.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
All right, Sam, what about you, man?
So, like I mentioned before, I've been replaying Rise a lot, and I've been really, really enjoying it.
It's fun, man.
It's a lot. I'm sorry, it is a lot of fun. The gameplay really, you can argue it could use a little bit more variation, but it's still it was an epic launch game. I'm sorry. It was an epic launch game, and I really, really hope that there's some chance that somehow, Microsoft revisits that they can get their hands on that IP. Because I really do think there's something special there that can be built upon.
Mm-hmm.
So in addition to that, I've been playing a little bit more Voodoo Vince Remastered. It's a fun little platformer.
Oh, I beat that, by the way. I actually did beat that.
Oh, cool. It's good for nostalgia. It's good for nostalgia, in an era when those kinds of games were commonplace. Then I finished Outlast 2, and I've been working on all the different achievements, like beating the game without hiding in the closet or speed running in under 4 hours. So I'm about halfway through all that stuff. And then let's see, what else? What else have I been playing? And then just the usual Gears and Uncharted multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, not too much, but
all right, man. Well, that's cool. Let's see. I've been playing Persona 5. Persona 5. And
I would have guessed that.
Yeah, and actually, I did play a little bit of Wonder Boy. I did pick that up, Jack Move, but I maybe played 15 minutes of it. So
okay.
Yeah, but I got what you were saying about they could have done a little bit more with the game, because it really is the same game. I mean, if you go back from Like I like how you can switch between like how it looks like the current mode versus like, and you can go through the retro mode, and it's so like seamless too. It's like it's really seamless. It's really nice how they did it. But yeah, I see what you're saying. But it's all right. I mean, it's again, I've only played 15 minutes, but it's okay. Yeah, and then Rise. I mean, I've been playing that. I did pick up Force Unleashed 2.
Star Wars. Star Wars.
Yeah. So
back in the day, that game was pretty fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I picked that up. I haven't played it yet, but I picked it up. So I'm adding to my backlog. Yeah, but Persona 5, man, Kobe, I'm telling you, you are gonna like this game, man. It's probably one of the best games I've played this console gen, easily.
Definitely getting back into it. I was actually really enjoying myself until Mario Kart came out. You know, I was actually really enjoying myself.
Mm-hmm.
The turn-based combats are really, really good.
Yeah, no, it is. It is. It's refreshing because it's very stylish.
Yeah,
but it gets better. It does, and the story gets better. I'm 65 hours in.
Yeah, I'm still really early. I'm early in the game.
Yeah, you are. And it's the beginning is a little bit of a drag because it's kind of like a long.
It does pick up slow. Like it really does. But it's cool, man. It's cool though.
Yeah, and I did pick up Mario Kart 8. Let me tell you something. I went out at one of the few times I'll go to GameStop, but I went to GameStop on Friday to pick up Mario Kart. And let me tell you something. GameStop was packed. Packed. There's at least like 10 people all there for Mario Kart 8.
It's gonna be a big seller, man.
So Kofi, I believe it's sold. What is it? I think out of the series, it's sold the most. It's the fastest seller or something.
Yeah.
Fastest seller in the series. Yep.
So like 400K, right? First day.
Yeah. That's craziness.
480,000 actually.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Kofi, I'm with you, man. I think the Switch is gonna take off, man.
Yo, the device is cool. I like. Is it honestly? Look. This is how I see it, man. If you grew up, playing on the Game Boy, Game Boy Color. If gaming on a handheld was like in your past, if you have a past like that, then you're gonna enjoy the Switch. You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, when I played in like portable mode, like I'm actually blown away because I haven't ever experienced a game, of such high quality. You know what I'm saying? In just a portable form factor. So I think that alone is gonna, make the Switch successful. Like we're not saying that's going like blaze the PS4 or anything like that, but I think it's gonna have its nice audience. So I really believe so, man. After using the shit, man, there's a couple of problems I have with it. I've been pretty vocal about the issues I have with it, but if that gets ironed out, man, the Switch is kind of bad, man. It's kind of sick.
I'm telling you, I haven't seen people line up to buy a Nintendo game like that
in a long time. Right?
Yeah. But it's exciting to see it. And John, actually, Mr. Megative, I think 2 weeks ago on this podcast said he thinks that the Switch is going to take NPD every month moving forward.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Look, I don't know about that one.
Look.
I want some of what John got. Sorry.
I'm a heavy Jack knows I'm the Switch gang leader, founder, man. I have a couple records and all of that, but even I don't even think that's gonna happen, But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if this holiday, the Switch took it a couple of months, especially the month that Mario
Odyssey.
That's gonna be huge.
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah, that's gonna be huge, man. And it's all up to Nintendo with their supply, right? Like if they can get enough Switches out. Because I actually just read an article right now that even in Japan, like Mario Kart's doing extremely well there. I think it sold like 70 something. I seen a post about it, and I read the article quickly, and they were saying like, they're having like heavy shortages there. So Nintendo gotta manufacture these consoles faster, so to see what it really can do.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice attach rate too. I mean, we talking about 459,000 copies in the U.S. on launch day alone, and then you throw in what they've done with Legend of Zelda. Yeah, and Mario Odyssey is gonna sell well.
Yeah, you already know Splatoon 2. That's gonna do a killer overseas too. That game, I hear that game is really big in Japan, so expect that game to do crazy numbers too.
Is it Is it too soon to say Nintendo's back?
I think it's too soon. I think
it's too soon.
I ain't gonna talk shit, even though
keep in mind, like I think it's doing extremely well, but you got to keep in mind they front load a couple of extremely good games. What's going to be more telling is without the major third-party support, how they start doing in the months where games aren't releasing.
Yeah,
at least to me, that'll be more telling.
I've come across a couple of people on Twitter saying that, like, oh shit, Mario Kart, Zelda, Mario Odyssey all this year. Oh, Nintendo's dead after 2017. But I think this is crazy when you think about it. That must mean that Nintendo got some surprises, because if you're really taking it in, if all these games, the big name games, are coming out the first year of the Switch, you must think that in the following years, they got some shit. You know what I'm saying? They got some shit coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what about they have some decent indie support though? I mean, there's if you look at what's available right now,
it's not bad. I am Setsuna. Yeah, we have that Wonder Boy, that game that Jack's playing right now. It's all right, but like honestly, when I hop on the eShop, I expect to see more games. I don't know. Like this platform could be a really cool, indie device too. Like for people who are interested, because I remember people used to praise the Vita for that. I see the Switch could be even a better indie platform, but Nintendo gotta let the gates open and let these developers flood their games, on the Switch, so there's always something to play. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it looks like they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm assuming the only people on the podcast then that have Switch is me and Kofi then, right? Sam, I know you don't have one.
Not yet.
Fastback, you don't have one.
Not yet.
Jack, you don't have one.
No.
Are you guys thinking about picking one up?
I really want them to add achievements. Like, that's really the biggest thing keeping me from buying. I'm not gonna lie to you. They need achievements.
My brother, so you can't play a game without no trophies, bro?
Right now, the way I'm feeling, I don't know, bro.
Dude, Jack's avatar says it all, man. Come on, he's got the platinum trophy.
Honestly, real talk. I feel you though. Like, I actually want achievement support on the Switch, because like I'm doing all these crazy stuff in Breath of the Wild. Like, it would be so cool if I got achievements for some of this shit. Yeah. I'm honestly getting all 3 stars in all these Mario Kart Grand Prix and all the CCs. It would be pretty dope if I got like an achievement to like show off that like I did this shit. But I guess for the time being, I gotta just screenshot my shit and be like, I did it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's your
the thing that gets me right is like they could implement an achievement system so easily. Like you could
real talk. They could.
Gold coins and then like a special.
I don't know what's wrong with Nintendo, man. I really don't know.
Complete a game, if you get like 100% instead of the platinum or the 1,000 gamer score, you get like a rupee for it. Like, there's so much they could do.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with them.
I don't know why they won't. Like,
real time. Well, isn't it still early? Because I mean, the online setup is still in development, ain't it? I mean, in the fall,
they got servers for it though. I don't see why they can't. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Once everybody starts paying for it in the fall. Maybe they'll start bringing some of those, features.
I mean, I can't wait to see how they implement this online, man.
Aren't they still planning on using phones?
Yes.
That's what like. If that comes to pass, man, I might actually go psycho, man. I actually might go. If they're gonna attempt to charge me to play online and the features are all on my cell phone, I'm actually gonna go like on a crazy rant, like. That's like ludicrous to me.
That's a terrible business model. Like,
that's stupid because like
be supported.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. That's absolutely crazy.
You know what
I'm saying? Like a whole bunch of like little stuff can make the Switch so much better. Like, just some basic shit. Like, let me message my friend from the device itself. Let me just, at least have game chat and on the device itself. But I'm hearing that people are telling me that there's a third-party manufacturer that's like making a headset or something like that. And it's supposed to like hook up to the Switch. So I'm crossing my fingers, meaning that I can actually voice chat on my Switch. If that's not the case, I'm gonna be pissed. Straight up, I'm gonna be cheese.
Are you how are you chatting while you're playing Mario Kart?
Yeah, you know what we do, man? We got a fucking group chat on Twitter after we fucking win a race, and we're talking shit in there, bro. Yeah, like it's whack, right? It's kind of whack, but like at the end of the day, look, the game is still great. I'm still having a great time with the game. You know what I'm saying? Overall, I'm still having fun, but it would be so much better if we could just obviously just directly talk on a.
But this is Nintendo though. This is Nintendo. They do something great, and then they do something you're like, what the fuck? You scratch your head and you shake your head like, why?
Let me tell you something real quick. This would make like the Switch perfect. You see how Jack knows? See the Vita social features? If the Switch had all of that social features, honestly, it's bomb. That's a wrap. The Vita has the Vita. Although I talk so much shit about the Vita because I felt like I've been burnt on it. Sony didn't deliver the promise to me personally, what I thought I would get out of it. But I can't deny that the social features on the Vita is real dope. How it connects with your PSN, all your trophies just transfer over. You could party chat from the system, all of this shit. If the Switch just had that shit, it's a wrap. It would be a wrap. It would be like just the perfect portable device for me.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, guys. B Money's here. B Money, what's up, man?
What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, B? Congrats.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, congratulations, man. That's
that's you. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, congrats, man. That's dude. I thank you for joining us tonight, man. I didn't think you were gonna make it tonight, but great to have you on, man. And how's everyone doing, man?
Everybody's doing well, man. Playing, so
you got another future gamer, huh?
That's right, man. Another one on the roster.
Are they gonna be a pony or an Xbot?
Ooh, I don't know, man.
Gang, right?
That's a good question.
My sons are they're a little bit everywhere, so we'll see.
Oh, so they're neutrals.
Yeah, filthy neutrals.
Yeah, of course.
That's good.
They're gamers.
Jackson, filthy neutrals.
Okay.
Gaming mud.
Yeah. So real quick, B Money, man. I know you have a Switch. Did you pick Mario Kart 8?
Of course.
That's a dumb question. I shouldn't ask that.
That was a really dumb question.
Yeah. Yeah. Is the Pope Catholic? Yes. Yeah, man. So what are your thoughts, man? How have you liked it so far?
Man, I love it. I haven't had too much time to play, as you know. Just had a baby like yesterday, so I haven't had too much to play. I've been back and forth in the hospital and whatnot, but every time I've played, I've had a great time. The only thing I wish that they had was kind of like some incentive to play like the normal races or whatever, like offline. But besides that, like having a great time playing it online. No lag issues or anything like that. I think I only like lost connection like once playing it at all. So, and I probably raced maybe 10 or 15 times online and play regional, play worldwide. Always have great races, no lag or anything like that. So I'm having a good time with it, man.
Yeah, Switch sounds like the perfect device too, man, to take to the hospital, man.
Yeah, I actually posted a picture yesterday. Because I took my other kids up to see the baby, and I had my Switch with me, so they're kind of getting a little agitated. You know what I mean? They didn't want to sit around and just embrace the new baby or whatever. So I pulled it out, and I had my Pro controller with me, and I just took off the two Joy-Cons, so there's 3 of them can play, and they were just playing battle mode, like having a good time. So it was perfect.
There you go, man. There you go. Yeah. So Jack Move, it sounds like if they have achievements, you'll go out and buy one.
I would be very inclined to buy a Switch. I would. Also, my username I usually go by Jack Move Johnny. I wouldn't be able to use that name on the Switch either. So that's another issue I do have with the Switch.
Why is that? Is it not enough characters or something?
Yeah, it's like a 10 character limit. Like Nintendo, y'all know Nintendo Ultra, right? Nintendo Ultra can't even use his name on the Switch. Like he had to take letters out. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, I feel that, man. Like honestly, the whole friends code thing is like annoying. Like just a whole bunch of little shit that like just hinders the experience, man. Like that shit was ironed out. Like I could search for a friend with a username. Like, but you would think this shit would be like a no brainer. Like it would be easy, but it's Nintendo.
Nintendo. They're behind when it comes to Xbox and PlayStation. When it comes
crazy to me that they're actually planning to charge this. Like when I heard the news that they're gonna charge this, I was watching this shit live. I was actually panic. I was like, what the hell? Like what the hell are they doing?
This is their first big leap though. You know what I mean? So like
that's true.
The Wii had like online and like Wii U had like online and like some chat. Like nobody ever used that chat, like the video chat feature or whatnot. Like it was just dumb. So like this is their first big chance, you know what I mean? They have console quality games on the go, so we'll have to see what they do with it. I mean, they're gonna charge us $30. It got to be worth something.
Yeah.
I'm just quick question.
Go ahead.
Sorry, but just a quick question. I mean, Nintendo's been in the game for a long time. Why is it? Sony's a company from Japan, but they get it. They, the way they come up with all these features, they're doing everything like Xbox as far, these features that players want. But Nintendo, why is it that they can't bring these features to the,
Nintendo marches to the beat of their own drum.
They do.
Sony also has studios that are here in America.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But they
have that Western influence, so it's easier for them to get it. You know what I mean? Where it's like, if you look at any Nintendo first party game, there's always a guy from Japan. You know what I mean?
Do you think it's game? Do you think it's just old heads that like old leaders and stuff?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, of course.
They do seem more traditional.
Yeah, so maybe when those guys, retire, then maybe we'll be lucky and get a modern Nintendo console with some young cats in there, man.
But isn't Richie in charge of the Nintendo US? As far as
Reggie.
Yeah, Reggie. Yeah.
Oh, they need to
just the face, man.
Yeah, but Reggie's been there.
Do nothing.
Yeah, that's right, Money. Reggie is a face. He's been there for a long time too.
Yeah.
Reggie seems like a yes man to me.
Yeah. He's just like the face, He's a good spokesperson, I guess. They like to keep around his shit, bro.
He's so annoying, bro. Like, I can't fucking stand it. He always come out there with that shit eating grin. It's like, just leave.
Yeah. So Jack, who do you like better, Reggie or Phil Spencer, though?
Oh, that's
a good one, though. That's a good one, though. Real talk.
Actually, I go Phil Spencer. Believe it or not. I prefer Phil Spencer over. Absolutely.
Reggie has a little bit of a personality though. Like when you watch him when he comes to those shows and shit and shows off the new hardware. The thing
I don't like about Reggie, and this has been documented numerous times, he never truly knows what he's talking about. He'll say something, and then they'll find out that it's just not true, and they'll be like, Reggie, where did you get this information from? Like, how did you not know this? Bro?
Yeah. Some interviews seems like he's pretty lost. You know what I'm saying?
It's crazy.
Pretty lost. No, I fuck with Reggie, man.
He's got the worst. His puppet looks terrible.
Oh my god, that was Jesus.
Oh man, Nintendo.
So more Nintendo news, guys. They're not going to be at E3. They're not doing the traditional press conference again. Is this a big deal? Does it matter?
Anyone care at this point for real, man? How many? When did they stop doing this?
Yeah, we're kind of used to it.
We're kind of used to it. I know why people are. I seen a man say Nintendo's dead to me because they didn't show up to this E3. I'm like, bitch. I'm like, yo, what about the last 4 years, 5 years? How long they've been not?
It's been like 5 years.
Yeah,
used to it now.
Now this E3, now Nintendo's dead to you. Come on, cut the shit. How I was talking to J-Main about this, and I was saying yo, I really don't care how the news gets to me. Pre-recorded live show, as long as the announcements are good, that's all I really care about, and that's all I have to say about it.
Well, B-Money, you were at E3 last year,
man.
Yeah, B-Money, you were at E3 last year. They didn't have a show, and tell us about the longest line.
Zelda all day.
Real talk,
that was the biggest game there. It was one game of the show. You know what I mean? If you want to see it, you had to stand in line basically all day. You know what I mean? So it just because they didn't have the show doesn't mean anything. They're still going to be one of the biggest names talked about coming out of E3, guarantee it.
Yeah. Right now, if Sony said that they're not doing a live press conference, it doesn't mean Sony's dead. They want to do a pre-recorded one. I wouldn't really care, tell you the truth. I wouldn't really care so much. Look. First of all, my ass can't afford to go to E3 anyways. I'm watching this shit on the computer regardless. So why do I care if it's live or it's pre-recorded? I don't give a shit. Just show me the games. Show me the cool announcements. Then I'm happy. You know what I'm saying? That's all I care about.
Facts.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I mean, just out of nostalgia, for me, I'd like to see them back at E3. But at the end of the day, you're right. I mean, as long as they're showing games, and it's and there's that Metroid rumor out right now that they're going to show Metroid at E3. If that happens, I would say we could expect another long line at E3 this year.
That's been a rumor for a minute. That's been a rumor. They've been doing directs low key. I've been hearing it every year. It's like Red Dead. Well, they actually announced Red Dead finally, but I don't believe it.
They will announce Metroid this year. But you know what I mean?
Hopefully
that Mario RPG game is going to be the second biggest announcement that they have.
Oh, there's a new one. I ain't know about that.
Is that real though?
That's real.
Oh shit! Wow. Mario RPG.
Yep.
Oof, on the Switch.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that sounds good. That sounds real good.
So I wouldn't be surprised. The big game that's going to be on the floor, E3 is probably going to be the Mario Odyssey then.
Yeah.
Since that'll be the when I went to PAX South, Nintendo was a big presence. The lines were long for, of course the line for get into play Zelda was longer, and you had two different lines, but they were definitely a big presence. So,
I think that was the same case with PAX East. I think we had Inferno on from Four Guys with Quarters. And by the way, if you haven't checked out their podcast, definitely check them out. They go live Thursday nights. But he was saying that Nintendo, there's long lines for Nintendo, and that's funny. When we hear people say, "Oh, Nintendo's dead," Nintendo's done.
No,
why is it that you go to these trade shows and it's like they have the longest lines?
Because people like hating on Nintendo. The truth is, their IPs are legendary, man. Nintendo's always gonna be legendary, man. Yeah. People fuck with Nintendo's IPs, man. They might do some weird business practices, but at the end of the day, these games that they drop are good, Like these games that they drop are heat.
That's why a lot of people want them to go third party. People love Nintendo's IPs, like Kofi said. Like nobody never denied it. It's just they business practices, dumb shit they do.
Yeah, shit that they do is dumb. But when it comes down to the okay, I'm gonna sit here and enjoy this game or play a game, it's great. You know what I'm saying? Low key niggas want Nintendo to die so they could get the games on their other platforms and shit. You hear this type of shit all the time. Not like they just want them to go away so they can get their IPs on like maybe on the PC, PS4, and Xbox. Mm-hmm. I want them to go multi-plat. So I'm pretty sure it's just the IPs. People love Nintendo games, man. Their games are great. Like
no, they are. Yeah,
games are great, man.
Can't argue the quality.
Nintendo IPs do numbers on a single console that isn't that popular that multi-plat games do. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like when you see stuff like that, it's impactful.
Mm-hmm.
When a single game on a single console does more than 5 million sold, that's ridiculous. Like what other game have you seen a single game do that in a long time?
Yeah, it's a good point, man. That's a great point. But then again, as we mentioned earlier, they do stuff like you're like, well, wait a minute. Like I still can't get like Reggie's actually out there defending the whole voice chat with a cell phone. I think he called it a very robust experience or something.
Oh my god,
Reggie's an idiot.
And I'm like, Reggie, what are you saying? What do you mean robust? I used to use my cell phone when I used to play the original Halo, right? And I used to. I don't know if you guys remember Xbox Connect or GameSpy.
No, I don't remember.
Yeah.
So this is before Xbox Live. So what we would do with Halo was you'd have to open up a different portion of your router, and it was I think it was basically like a virtual like LAN is what you would do basically. Like you create this virtual LAN party, and you use these websites to do that. And what we would do for Halo, because you didn't have voice chat, we would just call each other on cell phones, do like a conference call situation, right? But that's like 15 years ago that we're doing that, and I feel like this is the same thing with Nintendo now. That we're gonna have an app and we have to do party chat over the phone. So I don't know. All right. So moving on to some more news, we have Darksiders 3 announced. Who's hyped about this?
I'm very excited for it. It's a game that I don't think anyone really thought had a very high chance of happening. And the developers are describing it very much as a passion project that they're getting to go all out on this. So, you know what? I'm excited. Let's see what they bring.
Yeah. I'm I full disclosure, I haven't played Darksiders. Didn't touch the franchise.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I ain't hating, man.
Same here.
I have both games on Steam. I played the first one and second one for a bit, and I put it down. I'm like, I can't play this.
I played the first one, and I got a little bit into it. I mean, it was cool. It it was something about the first, and I put this on Twitter the other day. It's something about the first one that I really wasn't liking, but it sucks because I see Darksiders 2, and then I see the trailer for Darksiders 3, and it looks really like interesting. You know what I'm saying? The character models are cool, the gameplay look better than the first one, but I just can't get over the hump of playing the first one though.
Yeah, I don't know. Like every time I pop in that game, I feel like I'm playing like a knockoff. I don't know if you get that. I feel like I'm playing like, yo, this is not the original. It feels like playing like Lords of Fallen, and there's like Dark Souls out. You know what I'm trying to say?
It feels like you're playing a flea market version of a different game. Exactly. I swear, bro. That's exactly how I feel, though.
I swear on my life, that's how I feel too. When I play that game, I feel like I'm playing a knockoff of something. So get into it. I've tried, but I'm gonna try again. With this,
that's exactly how I feel. That's crazy.
I'm gonna probably pop in the first one and try to run it back on Steam, but I really feel like I'm playing a knockoff of a game. Like I really do feel like that. It could be a great game though. Like I don't know, but I just can't get into it. I've tried.
Yeah, I don't know. You guys haven't sold me on the game now. I'm like, someone said flea market. I'm like, oh.
yeah, but it's crazy how Jack feels the same way though. Like, I feel like that, bro. It's a real talk. I feel like it's a knock. It feels like a knockoff, like real talk. As soon as you pop in, it just feels like a knockoff of something.
So hold on, what is it knockoff off that? Like, what game is it?
I don't know whether it be God of War knockoff of that or
It's because it was from a AA publisher, not a AAA.
Yeah, THQ.
It was made by a very small team and a very small publisher, and they kind of had to punch above their weight, given the resources available to them. That's why it has a cult following and a special place in a lot of people's hearts, is because it was a very tiny team doing something really special with what they had.
Yeah, I feel AA games. Like I'm not that kind of person that needs to play a big budget game. If you know me, you know what I'm saying. I really don't give a shit about all of that. A good game's a good game. But I don't know. Like I was saying, like. I just couldn't get into it, man. I don't know what it was, but it just felt like I was playing a copycat game or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pete, what about you, man? You play Darksiders?
I played Darksiders, the first one, for probably about 2 hours. I really couldn't get into it. I bought Darksiders 2 because I got it like super sale. Never even opened it. Like I just didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't feel like getting into it. It's probably actually still in one of my game cases over here, unopened, but. You know, I really couldn't get into like the first game, so like, you know what I mean, I didn't have any interest in going back to it and trying to get into the second one. So I don't know, the third one looks interesting, but I mean, since I really couldn't get into the first game, I don't know if I would, you know, take the time to jump into the third game either.
Truthfully, I actually haven't seen the trailer of the third game. I just been so uninterested, to be honest. Like,
it look cool. It look cool.
I'm gonna check it out though. I'm gonna watch it. Maybe
it ain't no gameplay though.
Oh, okay.
No. Hey, real quick, I want to go to the live chat. Big shout out to everyone in the live chat. Jack Move, you actually have a fan in here. Hannibal Barca.
Oh, yeah, what up, Hannibal? What's poppin', bro?
I'm only here for Jack Move.
Hey, shout out to Hannibal, man. Shout out to everybody watching.
No love for Kofi out here, eh? you know, Jack's a star out here, you know?
Nah.
Jack's got the best. He's got the best introduction in YouTube.
Of course, man.
I've been saying that for a long time. Yeah.
Man.
Never gets old, man. Classic.
Yeah, Jack. I said it last time you were on here. I said the same thing. You start off Weapon Wheel. That introduction, that's the official starting point.
Oh man, I appreciate it, bro. That's crazy.
So what about you, Fastback? Did you play Darksiders?
No.
Okay.
No, and you know the other ones didn't interest me. So, like I said before, that I got to see what this one, the third one, is all about. You know, if it looks good, I see gameplay. If it's worth it, then I might check it out. But as of now, we'll see.
Yeah. You know, it'd be a nice game to come back. Like, was it Legacy of Kain?
Oh yeah, Soul Reaver.
Reaver has come back.
Yeah, they should bring that back. Who was that? That was Crystal Dynamics, right?
Yeah, Crystal Dynamics. Idols. Yeah.
They should bring that back. If I think about it.
I don't even remember if I played the game before. I remember I used to always see it though.
I played it on PlayStation 2, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was written by Amy Hennig as well, the person that wrote the first 3 Uncharted games. Fun fact.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Amy Hennig. You're right. It was her. Yeah, she did a lot of the core design work of the game. That's crazy. And I think the first was it. Well, the first one was on the PlayStation, right? Or was it PlayStation 2? I don't remember.
I think it was PlayStation, right?
Yeah, the first one was on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Then with the PlayStation 2, and then they did the Vampire series.
Was that Blood Omen or something? Or
yeah, that was a legacy of Kane too. Just
yeah, that was a good series.
Yeah,
what I remember. Oh man, they got to bring that back. I know they teased it like a couple years ago, saying like it had a 50-50 chance of coming back, but who knows? Who knows if that will come back again? But
games as a service, man. You can't make money off single player games.
Well,
okay. So we'll get to that topic in just a second here, everybody. We have some Remedy news. Some Remedy. If you don't know who Remedy is, I don't know what to tell you. Folks behind some very popular game, Alan Wake. If you've ever heard of that.
Did anybody else watch the Alan Wake 2 demo?
No. I got to see like 2 minutes of it. I was able to see a tiny snippet. Looked pretty good.
Yes, it does. It looks amazing. I don't understand why nobody published the damn game.
Because it didn't make money off the bat. It didn't make money. That Alan Wake is one of those games I cannot believe does not have a sequel.
The first one was good.
I've always wanted to play that game. I never got a chance.
I actually played it not so long ago. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago was my first time playing it on PC. It was actually really, really good.
Yeah, Jack, if you can't play it on PC, man, it's good. It's a good game. It's good.
Oh yeah, I have always wanted to try that game. One of the reasons that game kind of did bad though, didn't it come out the same day as Red Dead Redemption?
Like it did. It did.
Yeah. See, that's an issue.
Yeah, it got buried. But it did eventually sell well though.
Yeah, I think it did like 5 or 6 million overall.
Okay.
In the long haul through Steam and Xbox Steam digital sales.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just surprised. I mean, that's a game that deserves a sequel.
Do you think Microsoft or Xbox missed on doing Alan Wake 2 instead of Quantum Break?
They should have launched Xbox One with Alan Wake 2. If you go back and watch that demo, it's like 12 minutes long or something like that. Like
actually go see
the concept that they have for the game, it looks so amazing. I don't understand why, like, because they put out an interview I think last year and said that they shopped Alan Wake 2 around and nobody wanted to publish the game. Just by the demo that they put out, like, it makes no sense that nobody wanted to publish.
I do not understand it. I agree 100%.
Wasn't it like critically acclaimed though?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
It reviewed well. The thing is, I mean, I don't think it got the same like critical acclaim reception at launch that people assume it has now.
Okay.
I think it's one of those games, like many games, we tend to have a more popular opinion of them and they tend to get better critical opinion over time. Alan Wake was one of those, for sure.
It was a very good game, and
definitely better than Quantum Break. I'll tell you that.
It was much better than Quantum Break. Quantum Break.
I think Alan Wake was actually a better game.
Quantum Break was not as good as Alan Wake. But you got to remember, Quantum Break 2 was in development at the time when Microsoft was trying to do the TV stuff. Remember with the games?
Oh yeah.
That probably fucked up the development a little bit when all that shit shifted and all of that.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought Alan Wake was much better than Quantum Break. Quantum Break was okay. It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Play Quantum Break and then handle Alan Wake's mechanics and tell me Quantum Break isn't 10 times better. Sorry, that's kind of ridiculous.
Well, I mean,
dude,
coming out at different times.
Coming at different times, man. You're talking about different console generations. My expectation of Quantum Break would be that the mechanics would be better than something from a previous console gen. But overall,
I remember it feeling good as shit though. I was playing it while I was playing on PC and I was getting 60 frames and it looked great too.
Yeah, that's one of Remedy's better games. So let's see here. So Remedy they're working on another game. It's going to be a multi-plat game, and so looks like they signed a publishing deal with 505 Games. I guess they're the folks behind. I almost said Revolt, but it's not Revolt.
Then they publish. Don't they?
It was a. No,
505.
I know they published Abzu, right? They like
Abzu.
They published Abzu. They published.
Yeah, they published some Rocket games.
And Rocket League.
Rocket League.
Yeah, they published Rocket League.
And Payday. And They got a couple games under the belt. They're becoming a bigger publishing firm than they have been in the past.
Didn't they used to develop games, or am I tripping off that?
Yeah, they used to. They had like a bunch of like arcade style games. They used to be on Xbox Live and PlayStation Network.
Yeah,
they did the game, or I think it's Game Breaker series or something like that, like the football game or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I wonder if this game by Rem is gonna be another shooter though. That's what I'm wondering. Like, is this gonna be another shooter? It's gonna be a cinematic third-person action game.
They already said it would.
Oh, it is gonna be a shooter. Okay.
Yeah.
Third-person cinematic shooter.
Max Payne.
So it's a new IP altogether, right?
It's supposed to be new IP.
Okay, I might mess with this.
Yeah, but I threw Max Payne out there.
I'm a huge Remedy fan. Anything they put out, I'll take a look at it.
Bro, I have never played a Remedy game before.
You need to correct that.
I'm sorry, what happened?
I have never played a game. I have never played a game made by Remedy.
Sorry.
So you never played the original Max Payne either?
Nope. I used to watch my homies play it. I never played it myself.
Yeah, those are fun.
You never experienced bullet time?
No, man.
Max Payne was. Remember the first Max Payne?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness!
So
that game was incredible.
Slow motion.
Yes.
Bullets are. Yep.
Flying by you, and I'll never forget that one sequence where I guess you were in a dream or something, and it was like there's some platforming, puzzle solving in the dream where you had to like listen to some crying or something. I don't know. I just remember that like that one part sticking out for that game. The game was just amazing, great game. I didn't play the last one they came out with when he shaved his head bald and he went down to Brazil.
Oh, Max Payne 3? Oh, Max Payne 3 is dope.
That wasn't 3. That wasn't 3. That was
Was it 2?
After 3.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay.
It was like Max Payne, like Revenge, or I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But he was bald though, and he was in Brazil. It was different.
Yo, Max Payne 3 was crazy.
Doesn't go to Brazil in 3?
No, I don't think he goes to Brazil.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
you might be talking about Max Payne 3.
Yeah, that's Max Payne.
Yeah, that's Max Payne
3. He does go to Brazil.
Yeah,
because I was about to say, he goes bald and he's
because the ball thing kind of gave it away, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, so Nate in the live chat said, "I feel like
multiplayer too."
Yep. Hey, so Nate in the live chat says, "I feel like Quantum Break is a special kid that everyone tries to be nice to."
Damn.
Fire, man. Damn.
That joint that bad?
I don't think it's that bad, but when you put it up against Remedy's other games, it's not as good. It's just not up there with what other Remedy's done. Actually, I will say this though. I did like the TV show.
Their concepts will indicate. People like this is something that always gets me. Like, I guarantee you, years in the future, Quantum Break will be looked back on as better than people looked at back on right now, because Kojima has actually said that he wants to look at integrating TV segments into some of his future projects.
Oh god!
So,
I think after
you watch, I guarantee it will be critically acclaimed when he does so. And people
have you ever played Metal Gear game? You might as well be watching TV as long as
exactly.
Man.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4's cutscenes were long as shit.
What was it?
Yo,
like
that shit was long, bro. Like, yo, Metal Gear, I remember that, yo. That shit was ridiculous. Long, bro.
Real quick, Sam, what were you saying, man?
I was just agreeing, like saying, like Metal Gear Solid 4 didn't that have like a crazy long cutscene, like it was the world record, or
it was crazy. It definitely was, man.
I can't even imagine Kojima putting in TV with one of his games. It'd be like a movie.
He gonna put a full movie in that motherfucker. You already know he is. It's like, bro, are you serious?
But they better have like when you turn that game on, it should be like turn off your cell phone and like they do at the movie theaters. Because I mean, it's just I can't imagine that. So I wonder if you could do something like with Death Stranding, like if it's going to be like there's going to be like a Death Stranding movie or TV series.
Evidently, the people in Death Stranding don't know.
Some actors in there.
Mads Mikkelsen was asked if he understood the plot, and he shrugged and took a hit of whiskey. So
Kojima's a wild dude, man. The last Death Stranding, like what's it called that we saw?
It's a whole bunch of weird shit.
It was just weird. Like it was Guillermo del Toro clearly has a part in that game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But it was just weird. Was it like a baby like being born or something?
It's like robotic baby growing on men. Kojima's a fucking maniac, okay?
Bro, and people call him a genius for this. That's why I said, if I ever get into game development, bro, I'm gonna just throw a whole bunch of random weird ass shit, make it look pretty.
That's the thing, though. I think you have to, like, a lot of people that are considered geniuses are all fucking crazy. Like, I think Mark Cerny is fucking crazy. He looks like he's killed people. I think him and Kojima got that same, like, we hide a body in the basement, but make like a fantastic game.
Yeah, that nigga does look like he killed someone.
Bro, Mark Cerny scares me, bro.
When he looks in the camera, it looks like he's looking at your soul and shit.
Yeah, they got this soft ass voice, bro. I do not trust it.
And that smile, bro. That smile, can't be trusted, bro.
Scary.
Can't be trusted.
It's legit scary, bro. I'm like, fuck PT. That's why I am now.
Real talk. They should honestly put Mark Cerny.
All right. Oh my god,
bro.
Oh my goodness. All right.
That's why he's not the main face of Sony. Then I guess.
Thank Jesus. This dude's terrifying.
I feel you on that, Jack, bro. I agree, man.
Facts.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, Kojima, like he's out there. That dude, you know what? I've been telling people this for years. That dude does drugs.
Oh, absolutely.
That dude is doing some shit we don't even know about.
Definitely some frogs or some shit like that.
Yeah, right. Because that Death Stranding, that Death, yeah, right. That Death Stranding, that trailer that we saw, I was like, what is this? Like, what is this? But you know what, though? We got to remember, gaming is an art form. And if you look at any other forms of art, sometimes like the weirdest people like get the most praise for like things they put out what we just don't get.
I'm sure it's gonna be dope though. Like it look interesting. One thing he's good at in making these trailers is it grabs your attention. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So hey, his job is done. He was trying to get our attention. He definitely got our attention with all that weird shit. Now I'm actually interested to see more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I guess that was the goal. So now we're all have eyes on the game because a whole bunch of weird shit. We want to understand it.
That first trailer was like, okay, what's going on? The second trailer, it was a little bit more there, and it was weird, but it's like, all right, there's something going on here. But I look forward to seeing what comes out in E3. He's dropping the trailers like little pieces of a bigger puzzle. So maybe it'll become clear later on. But so far, I'm actually intrigued on the game, man. It looks so weird that I actually want to see more of it.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
You know what's funny about this game is that it's gonna come out, people are gonna beat it, probably platinum it, and nobody's still gonna know what the fuck is going on. We just gonna be like, bro, what the fuck was that? Like,
bro,
pretty much.
Let me tell you.
That's what he wants, though. That's what he wants.
Yeah, probably.
Everybody talking.
Let me tell you something. I played 3 or 4 Metal Gear Solid games. I can't tell you the storyline of this Metal Gear Solid shit. I swear, only the fifth one. I kind of understood what was going on because that one was kind of made kind of simple, but fuck, man, some shit was just too complicated for me, man. I can't understand.
Nanomachine, son.
That's pretty. That's pretty much what we said. Nanomachine. I'm like, all right, well, should I guess?
A weapon to rival the Metal Gear.
Those games got way too complex for me, man. Like,
real time.
I love Metal Gear Solid 1. Like, I 100%ed that game way back when. I tried to play Metal Gear Solid 2. I was not feeling it, and I haven't felt the series ever since then. I don't know what it is.
Oh, say word. You haven't played it ever since?
No. After Metal Gear Solid 2, like I bought a PS. Matter of fact, that's one reason I got a PS2 was to play Metal Gear. Like that's how big. Like I love the first Metal Gear game was the first story, real deal story based game I ever played. Right, so I thought before that games was just jumping on fucking mushrooms and I played this. I'm like, damn, this shit is deep. Okay. So I don't know.
That's hilarious. You thought gaming is jumping on mushrooms until Metal Gear.
I mean, all games arcadey type shit. Like, oh, I'm a Ninja Turtle. I'm kicking.
Yeah, I feel that though.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah.
And then when you get a PS1, you get Metal Gear. It's like, whoa, okay.
I'm telling you that you're actually you're making me think like, yo, what was that first story-driven game that made me feel like, yo, story games are lit? I'm trying to even think now. Yo.
Well, at the time, it was the first time we really had almost like a cinematic experience in gaming.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
That game, so I know we're kind of going off the rails here, but that game, Metal Gear Solid and Final Fantasy VII, to me were like the first like holy shit, like this is like movies now. You know, everything was so cinematic. The gaming was at, I mean, you know, if you've been gaming for a long time like I have, you have a, you know, like I know I'm old, but I love the fact that I've been gaming since like 1983 because I've literally seen. Damn. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
no,
same here.
but seriously, I mean, I started gaming on the Atari, on the Intellivision, you know, ColecoVision, and then we got to the 8-bit era, then we got to the 16-bit era, and then we went from cartridges to CDs.
That's hilarious.
And then going from 2D to 3D to CDs was so huge. I mean, like the impact that it had on gaming isn't something that I've experienced since. You know, I mean, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, it really is. I mean, Metal Gear Solid. I mean, we joke around like Jack, like, you know, you thought gaming was jumping on mushrooms and whatnot, but it's true. I mean, up to that point, there really wasn't anything like that, like cinematic, where we could have that kind of, where we could have a game delivered to us like that. You know, where it felt like a movie, like you were actually inside the game. So, yeah, it's amazing, man. You know, all joking aside, I mean, you know, we can make fun of Kojima, but the guy, he's kind of a genius.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And he still looks the same.
He's like, that dude ain't that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. He might be a vampire, low-key. You never know.
yeah, he definitely doesn't age, man.
He kind of.
He doing something.
Yeah, what you say, Fastback?
I was gonna say, he kind of reminds. He's like the Tim Burton of the video games.
Oh,
you know,
that's a good point because Tim Burton's weird, but people love him.
I mean, you know, Tim Burton makes some strange stuff.
Edward Scissorhands, that was weird.
Well, I mean, just everything that he does, and you know, Kojima's been wanting to move on to what he wants, and now we're going to see that. So,
well, yeah, we're definitely seeing it because it's out there. Do you guys think this game's going to be good though? I mean, what?
I think it'll be good.
He never made like a bad game. Though.
Probably going to push the boundaries in a lot of different ways of gameplay design. I'm just not sure if it can be a success. Being honest, the resources they're pouring into it.
Are you saying the same because of the single player experience?
people gonna buy the game though, even if it's bad. It's like a shit.
Yeah,
and I mean they've killed off multiple studios just to fund this thing. So yeah, I am saying that actually.
Man, it's for sure this game is gonna be a hit, no matter because as long as the name attached to that, it's gonna be a hit.
Facts.
Even though if it's not a critical success, like if the game turns out kind of trash or mediocre, people are still gonna go out in droves and buy this game. We already know that much for sure.
Yeah.
People are gonna actually
launch it. Will
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Isn't it? This Stranding using the same engine from Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah, Decima engine.
Yeah, Decima.
Ooh, it is using the Decima engine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh my god,
when's this game coming out?
No idea.
That's the real question.
You know, he said that game was gonna be like native 4K and it's gonna look better than it did when they showed it.
So PS5 then, right?
I don't know. It's gonna be 60 frames. So.
All right,
PS5,
we say PS5.
PS6.
It only entered full development this year. A few months ago. So
it's just a ways off.
Low-key might be a cross-gen game because everyone's saying PS5's coming in 2019. So
segue. That's actually what I was going to segue to. Well, I thought it was 2018. I thought that the
the analysts, but you know, us smart people are predicting
2018,
2019, the earliest 2020. But people are dead set saying 2019 because I think PlayStation's having an anniversary or something like that. 2019. Okay. That's why people are predicting 2019.
25th anniversary.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna guess myself, I'll say 2020 sounds about right. Maybe announcement 2019, 2020.
Yep. That's the earliest, absolutely.
Yeah,
and then release it 2019 holiday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't see it 2018. It's just two. I mean,
no way.
That's 3 years. What the PS4 Pro came out? What 2016?
Last year.
Yeah, so that's 2 years from that.
That don't even make sense. Okay, so people are saying that they're gonna release a PS4 in a year that possibly God of War still got to come out. Spider-Man, every game they show Last of Us 2. Like I said, I don't think Last of Us 2 coming out until like around 2019, to be honest, and 2018 at the earliest. So why would they launch a new console and they ain't even got all the good games out for the PS4
yet? 100% facts. 100%.
That don't even make sense, bro.
That's the exact reason why I believe PS5 is not coming out, because they still got to push a lot of these games out. And if you really believe that every one of these games are going to be freaking cross-gen games, then you're crazy.
Honestly, what you saying?
I was going to say something. I just want to say something real quick. Live chat. Someone said play Snake Eater to understand Metal Gear Solid.
Snake Eater. Okay.
Snake Eater was good. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't remember what we were talking. Jack, what were you saying?
I know I was gonna say, if the PlayStation 5 comes out in 2018, which is absolutely fucking ridiculous, the PlayStation 4 would have the worst first party like goddamn lineup ever, man. Because it hardly got it got games. I'm not saying that, but like it's way too early,
bro. The momentum, you know what? Look, you know what?
So Jack, you're saying their lineup will be sparse.
It would be very sparse, like Uncharted 5. I mean, Uncharted 4. It's way too many games they got to come out, man.
Yeah, doesn't it look like they're just picking up steam? You know, what I'm saying? It feels like they're just picking up steam. Low key, there's no rush for this. Like, I don't see the demand for a PlayStation 5 anytime soon. You know,
absolutely,
what I'm saying? There's no demand for this.
Sorry, not to cut you off, Kofi, but if I was Sony, I would want to keep the PS4 going as their prime console as long as possible.
Real talk,
absolutely.
That's
like,
smart.
If they were even thinking about announcing the PS5 anytime soon, like why would you even say that you could sell 18 million consoles in the next fiscal year?
That's true too.
It makes
no sense.
It's not making no sense to me. Like that's like cutting the lifespan of the PS4 short for no reason. And this brings up another question. You see how Xbox and with the Scorpio, they're trying to say they're not doing generations anymore. Do you think with the launch of the PS5 that the PlayStation 5 is going to have PlayStation 5 only games that's not going to be available on PS4?
Yes. I totally see Sony sticking with the more traditional model.
So okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
If that's the case, then yeah, definitely PS5 ain't coming out. No
time soon.
No time.
But I thought the whole, even both Xbox and Sony, that they want to keep bringing those old games going forward. But
they could be backwards.
They'll keep them going forward. Yeah. That's in the architecture.
Yeah,
it's like 64, 84-bit architecture. Like that's not a problem.
But we're talking about the model that how just how Sony runs on like exclusive games and it seems like Microsoft is taking the route on just they're just gonna downscale and upscale games according to what you have.
If they consider it the next gen, then I could
then
understand that
PS5 only games. And that's what I really want to see, man. That's what I really want to see. That would be cool.
That's why I don't consider the Scorpio as a next gen, because it's still within the family. It's not.
Yeah, it's not getting
moving on its own. Yeah,
it's not getting its own dedicated games, basically.
Not at this point, man.
No, not for now. It will in the future, though. They will shift eventually.
Yeah.
At some point they'll transition. Yeah. Speaking of Scorpio, did you guys see? So Windows Central put out a video of the Scorpio dev kits that have an LCD screen with the frame rates. Do you guys see that?
No.
Like a frame rate counter?
Oh, what dev kit looks awesome. I would be perfectly happy with that being. I would be okay if that was the final model.
It's crazy. Like I was actually impressed how the dev kit looks. I'm like, if the dev kit looks this good, then the consumer console, the consumer version is going to be really nice.
But it had a frame rate counter on it, showing the frame rate. And I was like, what?
Well, I think that's kind of stupid unless it's for the developer so they can see when they're doing their thing. But for a consumer model, it's kind of dumb. It's kind of dumb.
I don't think that's going.
I don't think the consumer model is gonna have that. If it does, I'll be kind of retarded because look, console games only play games at 30 frames or 60. You only got like 2 options to look at.
It's for developers can see how well their game engines are running when they first port something over.
That's true.
Yeah. I don't think when it actually comes out, the consumer models are gonna actually have that. I think it'll be pretty silly to have though.
I don't know. I thought it looked kind of cool though.
It looks cool though, but I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah. So back to PlayStation 4. So Sony's announced that they have shipped 60 million consoles or sold 60 million consoles.
I think shipped or some shit.
Yeah,
it's shipped technically, but I mean, the shipped sold divide is kind of nonsense because consoles that get shipped are generally only shipped because they're going to be sold in the next month. So I've never understood people saying, "Oh, well, you're just saying the ship number." Yeah, it's going to get sold. That doesn't really mean anything.
So
unless you're the Wii U, man. Then they got to stuff. They send them back.
They send them back.
True.
So I just wanted, I bring this up because we go back to last console gen, which was like 15. No, it's not 15 years long, but it's an exaggeration. It was 8 or 9 years long, and I think Sony ended up selling about 90 million worldwide. Is that
somewhere around there?
Yeah.
I thought it was around 80, but okay.
Yeah, and so we are 4 years into this console generation, and they have sold 60 million. I mean, that's impressive.
That's crazy that you mentioned that.
I mean, think about that.
There's more people though. Gaming has taken off. Gaming is far more commonplace. It's not just something for kids to do anymore. It's not that surprising to me because it's a way more integral part of society.
Yeah, it's more social media and inclusion compared to what last gen was.
It's no longer a dirty stereotype. Not to cut you off fast, but
you're
like for 8 whole years though. Like
but even last console gen, it wasn't like a dirty stereotype. I mean, coming from we look at the 360 and Xbox Live and the growth that Xbox Live had coming from the OG Xbox. I mean, there was a lot of people, a lot of casuals that jumped into Xbox Live through the 360 era, because of games like Call of Duty. Gaming became very social last console generation.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, that's where it started.
Yeah. But to see Sony do this in 4 years, I'm like, holy! This reminds me of like PlayStation 2 days, when PlayStation 2 was just like PlayStation 2. If you guys remember PlayStation 2, I mean that it was just, I mean, it was selling at at a record pace. I think that console. What did they end up selling? 100 and something million.
25.
125.
Yeah, still the top selling console of all time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because I remember back then, when I looked at Nintendo or what Sega had, I just didn't take them seriously. When I looked at PlayStation, PS2, I was like, I got to have one because all the games that were there, I mean, Gran Turismo and whatever, but the other ones just didn't appeal to me.
They had the games. PS2 had the games. I remember I got my PS2 late. I remember having an Xbox and just looking at the dope games because I was a big, DBZ fanboy at the time, and those Budokai games used to hurt my soul, bro. Like these guys were getting Budokai 3. I'm like, damn, I have to go over to my friend's house to play that. And I was playing Dragon Ball Z Sagas, bro. I was sad, bro. Sad as fuck, bro. I still remember that, crazy.
But GTA, Grand Theft Auto 3 was like the catalyst.
Real talk. Yeah, the GTA games. Weren't they time exclusive, especially Vice City and San Andreas? Weren't they time exclusives?
Well, yeah, they were. I mean, they were exclusive for the PlayStation for a long time. But, but eventually they did come. They came out on the OG Xbox. It was like a bundled Vice City, GTA 3. Yeah.
And that's the main reason why I didn't jump to the OG Xbox right away, because I was like, well, they don't have Grand Theft Auto. So it took a while.
That, and there was a lot of other franchises. I mean, you look at Devil May Cry. That was a third-party.
SOCOM.
Yeah, they got the games, man. They had the games.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
They had some crazy third-party support, man. Third-party support, when you look back and look at their third-party support games, they were crazy. On the PS2.
Yeah, and I love Gran Turismo back then. Forza, the first one, I didn't take it seriously. I was like, it took me a while to figure it out.
Yeah, I think Forza got popping at Forza 2. I actually have the first Forza.
Forza 2 was great, yeah.
Yeah, that's when Forza really started to pop off.
Forza was on the original Xbox, right?
Yeah. It was. Very first.
That's crazy. I thought they were doing Project Gotham back then.
They did.
No, they were. Yeah.
They were doing both. Okay.
Yeah, they were doing both. Yeah.
They dropped Project Gotham after Forza 2 came out. And then after that, like Forza was just the mainstay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It took over. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Project Gotham was just the arcade racing. Forza was their counter to GTA. And at the time, Forza, the first one was actually a big game, man. It had like a lot of features. You could do all those sticker features, all of that. You could the customization was dope. Forza was
once I got into that, I was like,
the tuning was crazy on the first game, man.
Yeah, the tuning was it was just like how it is pretty much now. Like it was really good.
Yeah. No, it was. It's funny. I remember. I'll never forget when Peter Moore came out and announced Forza, because for a long time, I mean, at the time, Gran Turismo was top dog in the sim racing genre. It just was. And I'll never forget when Peter Moore came out and announced Forza. I was like, oh, okay, all right, Microsoft's doing something. and that game, the first one was good. I still have it. The game was great. It was a great game.
Before that was Sega GT. I don't know if you guys remember that shit.
Oh yeah, I remember Sega GT.
Sega GT. I don't know if you guys remember that. Sega GT Online. That's what fans were playing on OG Xbox.
I remember Sega GT. I had the Sega GT and Jet Set Radio bundle because they bundled both those games together. Yep. Jeez.
OG Xbox has some good games, man. Good times on the OG Xbox still, man.
I'm going to say this. The OG Xbox to me is their second best console.
The second. Yeah, I would agree. 360 was definitely number one.
Yeah.
360 was definitely number one. 360
as of now,
Yeah.
Yeah, the Xbox One definitely has to step up. We want to take up that spot.
Yeah. Jack, are you ever going to buy an Xbox, man?
Nope.
I don't. And it's crazy because I wanted an original Xbox. I never got around to getting it. I had the money for a 360. I never got around to getting it.
You ain't getting it. I never had it. Yo, Jackson to get a Switch before he gets an Xbox One. Real.
Oh, at this juncture, that seeming like a possibility. But I don't know, man. I can't do it.
Well, Jack, what is it? What would it take you to get an Xbox? What is it that you're,
trophies
as far as looking for?
No, it's not even trophies. Honestly, and I know this probably going to be a topic soon. It would be if Phil Spencer felt the opposite way that he feels currently, I would probably be way more intrigued to buy an Xbox. Like, I need some single player good experiences. That's what I need. Like,
I can understand that. I mean, I will say the games on Xbox, there have been some good games come out, like Quantum Break. It's not a bad game, but some of the games that have come out on Xbox have not resonated to gamers, to mass gamers, like Horizon Zero Dawn and Uncharted 4.
Let me tell you this. Man. They got good games. Look, Xbox One got good games, but they don't pass the level of spectacular besides like Forza Horizon 3. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have amazing games. They have a lot of cool.
Yeah, they just haven't had that next Halo, the next Gears.
Yeah, they haven't had that big game yet.
But yeah, in terms of new IPs, they haven't had the breakaway new IP.
Forza Horizon 3 is the best game to me. Like as a complete package, Forza Horizon. I said this enough times, yo. That's Xbox's best game. Like that game is straight up quality, better than Gears 4, better than Halo 5. Forza Horizon 3 is actually.
I would say so far this gen it is.
That's the best game that they have dropped. Quality package right there.
And when the Hot Wheels
everything, man,
DLC comes out next week, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. So besides that, and that's not even a new IP. Like, all their new IPs have just been good games. They're good, but it's nothing like amazing. You feel me? Like I don't know, man. I think that's what Microsoft's problem this generation is, that they haven't had that game yet. Every generation they have had that game except this one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Last generation was Gears. The first one was Halo Combat Evolved. What's the Xbox's game? They haven't really introduced on.
Yeah, well, that's a good segue to the final topic of the evening, and everyone's talked about this on their respective podcasts. Phil Spencer's comments. He had an interview with The Guardian. He was pretty frank. He was talking about the video game industry and talking a lot about games as a service. And I think what really kind of caught the attention of a lot of people was his comments regarding single player experiences or single player games. We all know, and I'll say this, from a business perspective, he was dead on in terms of, these games as services, the Destinies, the Call of Duties. Look, they're money makers. They keep gamers engaged. I mean, with single player experiences, you typically don't have a high level of engagement because, you take a game like, let's say Persona 5 as an example. I'm 65 hours in. I'll probably finish the game in 90-ish to maybe 100 hours. And unless they offer some DLC, I may never go back to it again, right? But you have games like Destiny, which they've had multiple DLCs. They've had they've had DLCs which could be considered by today's standards as another game. 20 hours plus. And these are revenue generating. It's a revenue generating model that single player games don't have the luxury of having. And I think he was right about that. I think what at least caught my attention was that when he said that games like Horizon Zero Dawn or The Legend of Zelda don't have the kind of impact that they used to, and he's right in that regard. But if you look at Microsoft and their approach, and Microsoft as a company, Microsoft is very much shifting their model they're trying to be a services based company, and it kind of like when I heard him say this, and I heard him say that maybe gaming needs like a Netflix type service to give smaller developers kind of a platform where they can put out single player experiences without having or running into the risk of going against these larger games of services that are capturing a big part of the audience. It kind of made me think about what Microsoft has been focused on in terms of some of their exclusives. I mean, and if you look at me, I think you have to look at everything that's happened more recently. A lot of their single player games have been canceled, even to an extent like Fable, which would be a game
was not a single player game.
No, it wasn't. But that was
not
canceled.
Legends. Yeah.
But you look at Scalebound. You look at some of these other games that have been canceled. You look at some of the titles that they have coming out, and Rare's put out Sea of Thieves. That's very much a games of services type of game. You look at Crackdown. You look at Halo, which has included DLC. You look at Forza, which we just talked about. And it almost looks like you have two companies. You have Sony and Microsoft, which are, from a first party perspective, are taking two different, at least in my opinion, have two different formulas in terms of the kind of games that they're putting out. I think Sony's done a great job at putting out first party games that are very story driven, right? I think where Sony's had success and where they will continue to have success is this. They put out a game like Horizon Zero Dawn, and I think, Jack, I think you've said this before, Sony is a master at putting games or franchises out that will lock gamers in because they want to play the sequel to that game. So Horizon Zero Dawn will probably get a sequel on that game next console gen for PlayStation, right? So they create these new IPs, they create these franchises, create these new characters that gamers eventually want to gravitate to next console gen, right? And Microsoft hasn't done that. I think someone said it earlier, like last console generation, the OG Xbox, it was Halo. But then after Halo with the 360, we had Gears. But Microsoft, we haven't seen that. We haven't seen anything like that since from Microsoft. I mean, they have like put out like, they have put out single player games. You look at the game they did with Insomniac, Sunset Overdrive, which
great game,
didn't sell well, which is probably one of the best games I think on the Xbox
Definitely.
One.
Yeah,
second favorite.
Yeah,
just a bad launch date.
Yeah. But it looks like, at least to me, and this is my opinion, at least to me, it looks like you have two different. I think what Sony's doing is they're servicing a underserviced demographic of gamers. And I think, and I've always said this, I think where Sony's exceeded is that they have a more diverse and complete portfolio of offerings to offer a wide variety of tastes for gamers. And if you look back at successful consoles, every successful console that has led a console generation has done that. And I think that's I think where a lot of people were kind of like looking at what his comments and like, well, wait a minute, like this is okay, this is interesting. Like, and he's gone back and he said, we're still focusing on single player. It doesn't sound like he did mention like, there's some issues with there's some challenges and it's very risky. It's a very risky business model with putting out AAA single player titles. And I wonder, does that mean that, and he mentioned games like Inside was one of his favorite games last year. Thimbleweed Park is one of the other games that he's big on. So my question is, I guess, does this mean that Microsoft is potentially done with big AAA single player experiences? And maybe if we get single player experiences, it's, from smaller indie developers? And that Microsoft indeed is going to focus more on, building games where they can generate more revenue in that games of services type model. And I know I've just kind of went off on a tangent, but I just want to get your guys' thoughts on this. Jack, why don't we go to you real quick, man? Get your thoughts on this.
I honestly, I don't know. It's like the way I view Xbox, the Xbox brand, even from the jump, they've always had a heavy emphasis on, your friends play on Xbox, online. So to me, it seemed like they just going with what they've been doing. They want to have a heavy focus on, and he's not wrong. Phil Spencer was not wrong what he said. Of course, online games make more money in the long run because you can slowly, drip out content and stuff like that. But as far as a person like me, I do enjoy online gaming from time to time, but I am more of a narrative focused, gamer. So I hope they're not done making single player games or like big budgeted or whatever. But and that's all I just said about this on the weapon wheel. A lot of these studio heads is making the Halo and the Gears. They've been critical of their own stories. They've acknowledged this story probably isn't as good as it could be, but it's hard to tell story in video games. They've said things like this. So I just hope they find a way, hire some writers. I don't know what the fuck they got to do, but I hope they're not done, making narrative-based games.
Yeah. I pretty much agree with that.
They're not done. They're partnering with a new studio right now. The announcement came out today on new AAA exclusive.
Oh yeah,
what is it?
Studio Gobo. Previously, Disney Infinity are now. They've announced a new project with Microsoft to be announced sometime in the future, and they're hiring for a new AAA third-person game in quote a beloved franchise. Unquote. They're not done. I think Phil is just being blatant. Yeah, Fable is what came to mind for me, but there's other opportunities out there. But the point is, I think Phil was just being blunt about the state of the industry right now. I mean, let's be honest, and I say this as someone who loves his single-player games. I'm a very narrative-driven person. But look at the games that have failed this generation. Alien Isolation, The Order 1886. Not fail, but just sort of, mediocre impact, Quantum Break. Rise. You know what they all have in common? They were all single-player focused. Sure, you've got multiplayer games that fail, but it was usually because of something stupid like Battleborn trying to go up against Overwatch. The reality is the development budget and development process and the time needed for a single-player game is climbing higher and higher and higher. Cliff Bleszinski has talked about that before. Cliffy B of Gears fame. And it's only going to get higher. And so maybe they do need to figure out how to evolve that platform into, and I'm not the biggest fan of this, but you know what? Maybe it could work. It works for Telltale like an episodic format, where you get like an hour and a half, 2 hours of an episode every month or something like that.
See, I don't know. I'm the
He's just being honest. Go ahead,
oh, my bad. I'm with the belief that great, amazing games will be bought. You know what I'm saying? Like the games that you named, they're
all mediocre games. Let's be honest.
They're not good, but we can't also. Well, yeah, it's okay, but you can't negate the fact that there's also been a lot of single players that have done great this generation too. The good ones. You know what I'm saying?
Which ones?
Horizon.
There's been The Witcher 3 that's been fine. Horizon's been fine, but
Witcher 3, Zelda,
Persona 5.
Persona 5 doing numbers.
Bloodborne.
Bloodborne didn't do amazing.
Bloodborne did really.
Okay, wait.
Wait, real quick. It's going over like 2 million.
Kofi, real quick. I just want to interject real quick. So when I hear people say, like Sam, you just said, okay, it didn't do amazing. People, we got to remember something though. Like there's value in games outside of the. Like we just can't look at games as like from a business perspective. I understand the revenue aspect of it, but
of course,
just because a game doesn't sell well doesn't mean it doesn't have some inherent value. It does.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
but that's not what we're talking about.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is, but like, you know, we got to remember that though. Like when we're talking about these games, like that didn't sell well, that were good, it doesn't mean they're not good games. I mean, they're still good games.
You gotta define what sells well. Like what's the measuring stick? Because if you say like one game can sell 1 million and it does fine, another game can sell 750,000 and it's trash, then is that big of a difference?
Depending on the budget.
Listen, exactly, Jack. That's all. That all has to be put in perspective. Like, how much did it cost to make this game? You know what I'm saying? How much did you look? If some cost me 50 cents to make, and I'm banking in like bare money. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, so it's all in perspective. It's all in perspective.
My question is, I just want to say something real quick. My question is just like, and this is, I think a lot of people. A lot of level-headed people that read his comments were like, we understand what you're saying, Phil. We understand the business model isn't advantageous, today.
He hasn't dropped no heat. That's why he's talking all this shit.
But
I mean,
but the other thing is, and I heard him say what he said, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. But you have someone else that's doing it. I mean, we're getting Knack too. We know Knack. We know Knack didn't sell well.
But
that's called we owe Mark Cerny a favor.
You also have to look at look at all the single player games have been doing recently. Just about all of them have some type of story DLC. So you know what I mean? Even though they're a single player game and they aren't known as a game as a service, they still drop story DLC. So you know what I mean? They're trying to follow that model as well. It's just not as big because they're not multiplayer games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You could look at any like major, AAA single player game that's released in probably the last 3 years. Just about all of them have some sort of story DLC.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I don't think single player games are probably doing bad. It's just multiplayer games. There's just way more money to be made.
Yeah, more money, exactly.
Of course. When you have
that's why he's saying this. Not like single player games are doing bad. Because like when I think about it, and I see all these tweets about like, oh, this game sold this game sold that, and a lot of these games are single players. I don't see them doing that bad. I don't see them doing that bad.
That's not the reality of the industry, though. Alien Isolation sold over 2 million copies, and Sega has been very upfront about the fact that the reason they're not sure if they'll do a sequel to that is because they barely broke even. They made pennies on it. And that's a shame to me because I loved Alien Isolation. I thought it was a fantastic, phenomenal horror game. And it hurts. It really does.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm happy to say.
They spent more than basically what they got back, right? That's what basically, right?
I mean,
well, they made money, but they barely made any money. They barely made any money on it.
Honestly, we could blame companies like GameStop for Phil Spencer. We could blame people like GameStop because if used games were the thing, this wouldn't be an issue really. Because like if a game sell 2-3 million copies to the naked eye, that look great. But to Phil Spencer, he's like, man, where the fuck all our money at? Like, we slipping out just like so. That's why he wanna have the episodic game. He wanna have the games out. Oh, get Gears of War Season 1. Y'all get Season 2.
If one game's turn into that, then I might have to go to old fogey Nintendo, bro. I might have to fall back to old fogey Nintendo where they just give me a complete game, man. I don't know if I'm with that. Play this, wait a couple of months to get the second part. Wait a couple of
months.
Alan Wake
was episodic.
Which Alan Wake?
The first Alan Wake released as episodes.
But y'all said that one didn't do too well, though, right?
Man,
I don't know, man.
Oh, but did they all release it like that, or was it? It didn't release it separately. It was all one package, though.
Yeah, it was one package.
I think it had like DLC, though, right?
Yeah, it did have DLC, but it was one package.
Yeah, it was all one.
Later episodes released separately from the main game.
Yes, later episodes, but the main game itself was not episodic.
Okay, yeah, because I got me tripping for a second. I was like,
But I just find it interesting because I just I think that I really think Microsoft is moving that direction. I understand why. It makes sense for them to do that.
Nah, if they got heat, they wouldn't say all of this shit. Facts.
Yeah.
I mean,
if they got that IP, that chosen one IP, they wouldn't be talking all this shit. That's what I would tell you for sure, bro.
I don't know, man. It's just a bad situation.
I think as far as with that interview and everything, I think his deal was more on the business side, as far as like he's looking at the Game Pass that they're looking at. It's more like a Netflix.
Absolutely.
That he's hoping to bring that in and get that going, and that will help kind of maybe bring in some of these AA companies, games, some indies, to bring in more single player games, and maybe in return they can help fund a big single player game. It's more of a risk, but I do like Sony has an advantage. They have more studios. They've been doing this a lot longer. And Xbox is they missed the mark on a few of their single player games. And it may not be all Phil's fault, because he is having answer to Microsoft. Sony, my PS4, the Sony, that part of the Sony is doing very well. And they do have, I think the top dog, he came from the gaming side. So they have a little bit more leeway, to take risks. Xbox doesn't. So I think they need to be careful, because they have missed a mark. And so they're looking at Game Pass to help fund some of this. Also, I've noticed they're going to have games. There are going to be some games come out, and I think there are going to be a couple surprise single player games. You look at, they're going to be at Gamescom, and they're going to be at Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe, yeah. And so they, E3, they're going to show pretty much what we know that's coming out this year. You're probably going to get some teasers, right? You're going to maybe one or two new IPs. But if they're going to be at Gamescom and they're going to be at Tokyo, that means they have something there going into 2018. So I think, Phil's he's not going away from single player. It is still important to him. Not. It's just that money-wise, you can't. It is what it is. Multiplayer service-based games make a lot of money. Look at GTA. They have not come out with the single-player DLC because they're making more money off of the online. So as far as between Sony and Xbox on this, and like Nintendo, yeah, Sony and Nintendo are strong when it comes to the single-player games. And Horizon Zero Dawn and Zelda, to me, they may not have the long-term impact as far as the game itself. Once players beat the game, they're gone, right? So if they don't come back to buy DLC, they're not making that more money off of it, like multiplayer games. Mm-hmm. But I will say, those games, the impact they had at launch, they resonated with gamers. They sold consoles.
Facts.
So Sony and Nintendo, their consoles sold a lot of money because players wanted that game. Look, I don't have a PS4 yet, but I guarantee you I will be getting one this year because I want Horizon Zero Dawn.
Facts.
And of course Switch because of Zelda. But I love Xbox. I play on Xbox, but they have not resonate as far as the games, so far. So, but I have faith that they will do something. They will have games, because there's no way they can bring the Scorpio out like that, spend all that money on that, and not bring something. So, reserve judgment for E3. Yeah, I mean, they have to prove to all of us that they are going to bring the games. Yeah,
that's the most important. Right now, it seems like hardware is a big talk. When I log on Twitter and I see the hardware is a big talk around the Xbox community. And yeah, powerful hardware, that's great. That's great, man. I got a rig with a fucking 1080 Ti in it. Guess what I be playing, bro? I'm playing my shitty ass Switch. You know what I'm saying? I'll be playing a Switch with 720 P display, this,
Are you
that.
saying
But
Nintendo-
guess what?
So that's what the games you want to play it.
So, yeah, but take it in how crazy this is. I have such a crazy computer like this sitting at home, and I haven't even played anything on Steam recently, and I'm playing on the Switch. Guess why? Because they got games, bro.
The game that resonate with you, yeah.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about these games, and they gotta have games that hit home. They gotta have interesting games to play, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
That's why I'm getting tired of hearing hardware. I'm tired of
all this hardware.
Yeah, you know, I might buy a Scorpio, but if the price is right, if it's $399, I'll buy a Scorpio this year. If it's $499, I'm gonna wait till next year. You know,
man, it's $499, cool, but yo, this $499, they gave us some games that really shine, some new shit that really shine, and yo, people will be down for it.
Yeah,
you know
but
you gotta show the games, man.
Yeah,
yeah.
I just wanted the games, man. I felt like honestly, real talk, this whole generation with Xbox, I felt not power was the issue. I feel like games was more of an issue with Xbox for me personally. Like, yo, when I look at the library, I don't see much. Especially looking at like the competitors, I don't see what I would like to see. I want to see more and better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I just feel about
it. But they did come out with a lot of. I mean, if you look early on the console gen, they did come out with
Killer Instinct, Rise.
Yeah, I mean,
they had a lot of decent
They came
games.
out with more games earlier on.
Yeah, they did.
And it was
their launch was better. Their launch was better. Yeah, I fully agree with anyone who says I think Xbox launch was better. The launch lineup. But how long are we gonna hold on to this launch lineup? I keep on hearing this. People be holding on to this launch lineup. Like, yo, right now in 2017, man, Microsoft hasn't dropped much. I'm just hoping that, like, I don't know, man. I just need some quality games, man. I just need better games, more interesting IPs, more in-depth story games, just overall just great games. That's what I'm just looking for from them right now, man.
I'll tell you what,
yeah, I mean, and that's what they got to do, you know.
I'll say this much.
Man.
Up until November,
I'm happy, man.
Up until November, I was primarily gaming on my Xbox One. Since November, I've been pretty much primarily gaming on my PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
And that's because of games. I mean, you know, you look at Persona 5, Horizon Zero Dawn. You know, I mean, just
that's what's crazy to me, that some people actually believe that you just slapping a 4K or on like a title is gonna really, change anything. That's not gonna change anything.
Not to the masses. No,
it's not gonna change anything, man. Yo, and then it is, software moves these hardware, so you gotta have the software.
Man, everybody, shut the fuck up.
Oh, okay. So the pony president's here. John, what's up, man?
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Come on.
What's going on, man?
Okay, you guys,
yo, John, I heard you switch gang, man.
You could say I switched to something else. No, that's the thing. Like actually, somebody came at me on Twitter and they were like, "So what are you in like a Nintendo now?" I said, "No, I'm a gamer, and I play. I don't have this crazy fucking allegiance to. Well, you don't have an Xbox. Yeah, that's because I don't have fucking time for 3 consoles. So sorry, but yeah, no, dude. I'll tell you right now, I love my Switch more than either PS4 or Xbox.
You fat? Oh, Jack.
So John,
those are fighting words, Jack.
John, we actually brought this up that you said like 2 weeks ago that Switch would outsell PlayStation and Xbox.
I stand by it. Think about this. I don't know if you guys just saw Zihu just tweet, but Mario Kart 8 sold 1 million copies in April after being on over 1 million copies after being on sale for 3 days.
Oh, just now?
Wow.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
This thing is this year is going to be crazy for the Switch. I mean, think about that. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, a game that came out in 2014, which I own. It's fucking fantastic, by the way. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is fucking phenomenal. But
amazing.
This game originally came out in 2014, and it was re-released and sold over 1 million copies after 3 days on the market.
Craziness.
That's because nobody bought the Wii U.
Yeah, that really tells you how people didn't respect the Wii U, didn't know what it was. That's
the thing. It's not just a referendum on demand for the Switch, but it's also a referendum on just how bad the Wii U sold. and how low the demand was. And so imagine if Mario Kart 8 is doing that. Mario Kart 8 is going to outsell Breath of the Wild. Easy.
For sure, yeah. That's for sure.
Imagine what happens when Mario Odyssey hits. Or when Pokemon is fucking
Yo, John,
Pokemon gonna set it on fire, man. I tried to tell you, man.
I mean, so people can chuckle when they say, John, you're crazy. The Switch is not gonna. Just wait. Look at and, you know, I've got my issues with GAF these days, but if you look at GAF, there's a lot of retail industry, retail insiders on there. And I'm talking not people who work in the register, people with access to regional numbers who say, we can't fucking keep Nintendo Switches on the shelves for more than an hour and they're gone. They're gone. They're fucking gone.
John, there was lines at GameStop for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I mean, like I was there in the afternoon. There was like 10 people there. You guys
wait. You just wait. The fucking Switch is going to outsell it is going to outsell the Xbox One and the PS4 every month for the rest of the year. Just wait.
I don't know about every month.
Yo, look,
I don't know about that.
April and May.
I think it's
gonna be so far.
I think May is the only month it might.
I think the only month it might not is Destiny 2 month. But here's the thing. But consider this though. The Switch is entering it's being birthed, right? This is its first year of existence. There are already 60 plus million PS4s on the wild and something like 35, 40 million Xbox Ones in the wild, right? So this is the year where sales for those consoles start to go down traditionally, right? That fourth year of the console cycle. So these two consoles have that. So anybody expecting, for example, like 650 fucking PS4s to be sold in September, like when Destiny original came around, that's not going to happen this time around because there are already a shitload of people who have fucking PS4s. So I think the only month this year that the Switch may not win will be September. That's it. I think in November, forget it. I don't care if the fucking Scorpio launches or not in November. With the combination of Mario Odyssey, price drop, and some fucking compelling bundles, forget it. And if people know that fucking Pokemon is coming, forget it.
Nintendo won't do a price drop, though. That's the thing. No.
Price. I don't think price drop this year. Next year.
Do price drop.
No,
that's why I said or bundles or a compelling bundle.
Yeah. But it would not surprise me if
that is also
the holidays.
They gotta have them in the store though, John. They gotta have them.
Yeah. That was my next point. That was my next point, B-Money, is that this is all entirely contingent upon them being able to meet demand, which I'm not convinced they can do. So I should have led with that, but that's a caveat. They won't win NPDs if they can't provide enough supply to meet demand. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I saw a report they were flying them. You know what I mean? To meet them now, so
because the demand is so fucking crazy. And consoles are normally shipped overseas, not just Nintendo consoles, but Sony and Microsoft as well. These things are usually shipped.
Yeah.
These things aren't traditionally airlifted, but that's the level of fucking demand that people are seeing for the Switch. And regional managers at Best Buy and GameStop are calling it Wii levels, like not Wii U, like Wii levels of demand that they're seeing, which is fucking insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
A lot of people have deemed the Switch is gonna flop. A lot of people are saying it's gonna flop. Me, I've stuck to my guns. Yeah, I'm saying, this device, man, I think it's gonna do something. It's gonna do something for Nintendo, man.
No, it is.
It's gonna do
John, you were at PAX East. I was at PAX South. You saw the Nintendo booth, right? I mean, there was a lot of people. It's
No, I like, and I really regret. So we got in there for that on Friday for that because we had our media badges. So we got down there for that hour that the media gets to play games with nobody else. And I didn't play anything at the Nintendo booth, and I fucking wish I had because I went back 3 hours later and I was like, no, fuck that line. Yeah. I was like, there were more people. There were more people waiting to play the Switch than anything else. Like the line for Mass Effect Andromeda was nothing compared to people trying to play Switch. Nothing.
That's good, man. I really wanted this to do well to prove to people that it's not that you have the strongest system. What makes you successful. Show you a different way to play and a good IP.
Kofi, I just got done with Superform Gamescast, which normally goes live every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, except for tonight. I apologize. I apologize, Enrique. Tonight was the only night we could do it. But we were just talking about this with Anthony Agnello from Games Radar on SDGC. Is the fact that it's not about what game. I don't give a shit whether or not games look pretty. I give a shit about whether or not they're fun. And Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I got it last Friday. I have already played 50 hours of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. It is so much fucking fun. And that game looks freaking gorgeous on the Switch screen, by the way.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. It doesn't need to be 4K or 1080p to look good. It just doesn't, which is why the Switch is more exciting for me than the PS4 or the Xbox One, because I'm not yes, Horizon looks great. Yes, Gears of War 4 looks great, but visuals they don't excite me like they do other people. I care about gameplay.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just me. I'm already talking way too fucking much, but
I'm right there with you. I gotta have me my Zelda and Mario. Yeah.
No, it's a portable form factor. Listen, if the Switch launched and it wasn't portable, it was just a straight TV experience, it would be an instant flop. I think.
Oh yeah, no,
absolutely
I wouldn't give a shit about it.
Trash.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Absolutely trash. The fact that it's a portable that with like a little docking station, that's a big selling point.
It's portable and it looks
like a console. Yeah,
it looks like a fucking console. Like it is. I'm like playing because my wife's
high end though.
What's that?
Looks like a high end device.
It's fucking what it feels. Not just looks, but it feels like a premium device.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the Wii U gamepad.
It's a far cry from that fucking Fisher Price Wii U gamepad. The fucking baby's first fucking handheld. The 3DS. Like that thing felt like a cheap piece of plastic, right? Okay. But the Switch feels. Sam. It feels like the handheld equivalent of like the Xbox One Elite controller.
That's high praise. I have an Elite. I use it every day. That is very high praise.
The Elite is the nicest controller I've ever held in my hands.
It does feel premium. It does feel like quality.
It's got weight to it. It's got weight. It's got heft. It's on a cheap piece of plastic. It feels great.
It does feel good. Yep.
And for anybody here who has a Switch, there is no more satisfying thing in the world. Just like clicking the fucking Joy-Cons and hearing that snap noise is just so satisfying. It's the little things about this console, and the fact that when you pull it out of the dock, the transition from TV to it's like seamless. It's a second, less than a second, right in bed. But you pull that thing out of the dock, and it is immediately on the screen, and vice versa. You pop it into the dock, and it is immediately on your television. And I just as long as they have a killer E3. From what I've heard, you're going to see Metroid, you're going to see Pokemon Stars, you're going to see that Mario Rabbids game. You're going to see a lot of Mario Odyssey is going to have a huge presence. Fire Emblem, fucking all kinds of shit is going to be great. I'm holding out for that. There's a rumor going around now that they're going to port Tropical Freeze, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Based on the fact that
here too.
We were just talking about a rumor on STGC that there's a rumor going around that you're going to see Smash this fall, port of Smash.
What?
And so
I'm about to have a dude. You're hurting my soul right now, bro. That shit.
Like anybody who says the Switch isn't going to sell this fall, dude, if fucking Smash Brothers comes out on top of Mario, forget it.
My dude, when they put
Animal Crossing
on that shit, bro.
I guarantee.
Yeah, I've heard of Animal Crossing too. Another one. Yeah.
I heard you might see Animal Crossing in E3. So like the sure thing is Metroid. Like Metroid is going to be at E3.
Metroid and the Mario RPG will definitely be there.
Yep. And there's another rumor that there's going to be a Metroid Prime trilogy HD on the Switch, which would
what?
But so here's the thing: Nintendo is looking at sales of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I mean, it's a re-release of a game, right? But it has sold over 1 million copies in less than 3 days, which is fucking unheard of.
Put Bayonetta on that bitch.
So now what they're doing is they're looking at other Wii U properties that not a lot of people got to play because nobody bought it from Wii U, like Tropical Freeze, like another one that I've heard mentioned is the Wonderful 101. Bayonetta 2.
Put Bayonetta on that. That's a must.
All these games that
wasn't there another Zelda one that came out on there? Was it
Skyward Sword?
Yeah.
All these games that people didn't get to play, Nintendo is now considering porting over to the Switch. Which normally I'm against ports, but since but in this case, fucking bring them on.
It makes sense though in this case.
Yeah, fill the gaps, Fill the gaps.
Because nobody. And like I can sit here and talk about how great PS4 exclusives are, and Sam can talk about how great Xbox One exclusives are, but neither of them can hold a candle to Nintendo's first-party stable.
Yeah,
that's just a fact.
That's what I was saying.
That's true.
Yeah.
Total fact.
And like to wrap it all up in a neat little bow, we should all be happy about the Switch selling well because the industry is even stronger with 3 competitors as opposed to 2.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, I think it's a great time to be a gamer. Like everybody's healthy. People want to say, oh, the Xbox One is not selling as well as the PS4, but it's selling fine. It's selling more than the 360 was. It's doing great. Nobody needs to worry about the Xbox One.
You did so.
Yeah, right. And like, granted, that's a low ass bar, but everybody's doing great. Nobody has any reason to be concerned, and everybody should be happy. There is literally no reason for anybody who owns any console not to be happy with it at this moment in time. Which I think is
you underestimate the power of NeoGAF.
And Twitter.
You saw my post about Shinobi on NeoGAF.
Yeah, I've been done with NeoGAF for a long time. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, I'm surprised what I said didn't get me banned personally.
What did you say?
Oh, do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead, man. Because if NeoGAF didn't ban you, that's yeah.
I actually people were actually expecting me to be banned for this. Because so basically, you guys know what happened with Shinobi, right?
Mm-mm.
So he's off GAF, like he left GAF. He's not ever posting again, because he said, "Hey, I played some Mass Effect Andromeda. This before it came out. It was great. I really liked it. I played a few hours of it. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Really enjoying it." And then like he got fucking lambasted. Like people were calling him a shill. People were calling him just all kinds of horrible shit. Like Shinobi's a nice guy. He's never done anything bad to anybody.
No, he's really nice guy.
So he started his own website called Shinobi Speaks, and Shinobi is a good friend. He's a very good friend of mine. We talk behind the scenes all the time. And I created a thread on GAF, and I was like, "Hey, you guys should check out Shinobi's website." And people just immediately were like, "This fucking shill, this fucking BioWare shill." So I wrote on GAF. It's not a very long post, but I'm surprised it didn't get me banned. It did get the thread locked. But somebody said his opinion should be taken with a pinch of salt. Like if my good friend gives me a game, I'm not going online to hate on it. And then I said, except he was a massive Mass Effect fan before Twitter was even a thing. He loves it. He was open and honest about glitches he encountered, but he looked past them. I'm a lifelong Final Fantasy fan. Some people don't like 15, but it's one of my favorites. It has issues, but they don't bother me because I truly enjoy it. This is no different. The bottom line is, Shinobi provided this board with a lot of positive feedback and interesting info for years. He's a good dude who didn't shit on anyone or tell them they have shit taste or act like he was better than anyone. One of the nicest dudes on this board. And then when it was cool to shit all over Mass Effect Andromeda, and he didn't, none of that mattered. Shinobi dared enjoy something GAF said we weren't allowed to. So naturally, the same people who spent years begging him for megatons and hanging on his impressions suddenly screamed about what a paid shill he was and strung him up in the town square of Opinion Validationville. Fucking sad. I remember how excited I was to get my membership approved. Now I rarely post anymore due to what a toxic, hateful swamp it's become. So I fucking hope you guys are happy. Shinobi was one of the best things GAF had going for it. And after that, the thread got locked. But that's how I feel about NeoGAF now. Like I rarely post anymore because it's just a fucking it's a worse dumpster fire than SDGC. It's just terrible.
They're all stuck up with their own opinion. It's a group of people who are shocked that Ghost Recon Wildlands outsells Nier Automata.
It's a fucking echo chamber, dude. It's an echo chamber.
It's an echo chamber beyond echo chamber.
Yeah.
It's like Twitter in some ways.
No, not really. No. It's way worse.
I would say in some ways it is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't been on NeoGAF in years, so
I wouldn't recommend you start.
I was never on NeoGAF.
Yeah,
never really been into threads and shit like that. Yeah. I just talk shit on Twitter. That's what I do.
Hey, John, so real quick, man, since you joined us, we were talking about the whole Phil Spencer single-player comments. I'm sure you guys talked about this.
We did, actually.
Thoughts, man?
I think it was taken out of context.
Bingo.
People say, well, he's saying that they're not going to focus on story-driven single-player games anymore. I'm like, no, that's not what he's saying. Like, I get that that's what some people might take away from it, given that some Xbox One exclusives have not sold as well as some other PS4 exclusives, and that's a separate issue. That has nothing to do with. I mean, multiplayer games traditionally sell better than single-player games.
And we've seen more single-player games fail this gen than we have
fucking
multiplayer
shocked,
games.
Right? That a fucking multiplayer game would sell more than a fucking single-player game. Well, that's just the fucking way it works. Single-player games don't sell as well as multiplayer games. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's just the way it's always been. So naturally, obviously, Microsoft sees something that is working for them, and then they're going to pursue it. That doesn't mean that you're not going to get story-driven experiences. You might get fewer of them because, admittedly, heavily story-driven games like Quantum Break, for example, have not sold well. But you know, and that right there is a whole other fascinating conversation as to why these games are not selling. But
I was going to say, why is that? Because look at what Sony's doing. I mean, Sony's put out some single-player experiences that have done well.
I don't know. Well, I mean, they put out many
quality differences. Facts.
Well, yeah, you know, I don't
compare Quantum Break to Horizon.
So I don't think anybody here would argue that Uncharted 4 and Horizon are better games than Quantum.
Way better. Oh my god.
Uncharted 4 also had multiplayer and microtransactions, though.
It did, but the focus, but nobody's buying, but nobody's buying Uncharted 4 for the multiplayer. Yeah, I bought Uncharted. I think it's fun. It's not the best multiplayer game I've ever played, but I think it's fun. But I bought it for that single-player story-driven experience. I want to know how Nathan Drake's story is going to wrap up. I want to know what's going to happen with Sully and Elena. And with Quantum Break,
the quality differences, man.
So for like full disclosure, I have not played Quantum Break, right? So I can't tell you whether or not it was a crappy game. I can tell you, based on conversations I've had with other people, that it's not, and looking at review scores, it's not better than Uncharted 4. It's not better than Horizon. But at the same time, I have not heard that it's a terrible game. I've heard that it's a fun game.
It's okay.
Albeit I have heard, not just from, I mean, I've heard from Sam that it's got one of the worst final bosses in the history of games. But that doesn't mean it's a bad game. I've heard it's a great game.
I still loved it, even in spite of that.
So why are these games not selling well? Like somebody asked me if I thought that it would have sold better on the PS4.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but Remedy games generally are not known for being blockbusters.
They're slow burn sales. Like Alan Wake sold a lot, but it sold a lot over several years in the digital side.
What about Max Payne, though? Did Max Payne sell well, like off the bat?
Nope. I mean, it did good at launch, but it sold more over years.
Yeah. I honestly, I mean, I don't think Microsoft marketed Quantum Break very well. And I think that has been. People ask, well, why aren't a lot of these games on the Xbox selling? I think it's an issue of marketing. I don't think Microsoft. I don't think the games on Xbox are any better or worse than the ones on PlayStation. I think that PlayStation is just marketing their games better. That's what it comes down to, because marketing is a powerful tool. I mean, people still, rightfully or wrongfully so, people still talk about the Xbox reveal in 2013. And they talk about, the PlayStation, Sony, Jack Tretton coming in and saying, you can play all your used games. Or you can sell them, you can do whatever you want with them. People still reference that. I don't think they should, because it's been fucking 4 years now, but they still do. Because people have long memories, and people respond to messaging. And it's the same reason that Sunset Sunset Overdrive. I almost said Sunset Horizon. It's the same reason that Sunset Overdrive did not sell well. It was a phenomenal. In my opinion, the best fucking game Xbox has put out this generation. But it didn't sell well, and you're never going to see a sequel because Microsoft didn't market the fucking thing. And I don't understand why Microsoft is doing this. They marketed the shit out of Halo 5, but even with Halo 5, the marketing was completely misleading. People bought Halo 5 expecting this epic showdown between Locke and Master Chief, and that is not what fucking happened. So if somebody says, well, John, you're wrong, and Microsoft doesn't have a marketing problem, I suggest you go back and do your research, because this generation, they absolutely do. And that is why it's not a difference in quality. It's a difference in message, because Microsoft has not been able to nail that message yet. And I think they're finally starting to get it right, maybe with Scorpio, from a messaging standpoint. But that is why they are not. That is why they are not going to win this generation, because it's too late now, right? Like the PlayStation 4 is so far ahead that it's like the messaging is what it is, and no amount of fixing it is going to completely right that ship this generation.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, whatever. I mean, it's still selling fine.
Yeah.
But that's why. I mean, would you guys agree with that, or do you think?
Well, let me.
I think it's a little more nuanced, but I think in terms of broad strokes, that's probably accurate.
But John, let me ask you something. Like the one thing that I noticed about Sony, and I think other people have mentioned this too, is that they tend to create new IPs, new characters, new franchises that people want to play, or that they carry over to the next console generation. Where people say, you know what, I want to play Uncharted 4 on the PlayStation 4. Horizon Zero Dawn, which is probably the sequel is probably gonna be a PlayStation 5 exclusive.
Oh, dude, I guarantee you they're fucking working on that sequel right now as we speak.
Yeah, but
but they're working on an expansion actually. That's next.
But what I'm saying is that they create like these new IPs that carry over to their next console. So I got create this loyalty, this almost brand loyalty, and it's like, and so for me, you know, I primarily gamed on the Xbox up until November. I'm like, well, if Sony can do it, why can't Microsoft do it? Like, why? And Microsoft used to do it.
Low key, Sony might have all the talent. Low key, bro. Low key, they might have all the talent with the suits. Because I think there was an interview with recently that Phil Spencer did that where he said that they don't have any studio that on the level of Naughty Dog. Like he actually said that with his own mouth. That's crazy.
I mean, they don't. I mean, it's a factual statement. They don't.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, so low key, I don't know, man.
So here's the thing, right?
I always real quick, John. I always point to Bungie, the whole thing with Destiny. I mean, Destiny was actually teased in Halo ODST, right?
Yep.
And look what happened with that. Like that could have been a Microsoft exclusive,
a big Microsoft game. It could have been their next big game since Gears of War, but nah, they didn't let them work on it.
So for me, I'm like, well, like, what's going on here internally? Like, why are these things happening? Like, why did they let a Bungie slip away and put out a game?
It's messaging, right? Like, see, here's the thing, man. Like, a few weeks ago, I got lambasted on Twitter because I said Halo and Gears of War need to die. I said these franchises need to get put out of pasture, and Microsoft needs to introduce something new.
But they won't though, because they're not money makers.
I've been saying that for forever.
John. But John, the problem is that they won't because they're not revenue generators.
I
mean, I'm saying like they won't do a new IP because it's not guaranteed money. Is what I'm saying.
I don't know, man. Like, I mean,
you gotta roll the dice sometimes.
You gotta do something. I mean, Sony took a chance with Horizon and it paid off. So Horizon is going to be the next Uncharted franchise. I'm telling you right now.
You assume Uncharted is gone.
That's pretty clear. That's pretty clear now that they're gonna continue that franchise.
I don't. If Uncharted does continue, you're not going to see, aside from the Lost Legacy, you're not going to see it for a long.
Then you got God of War is moving in a new direction.
God of War is coming back. The Last of Us 2 is now ramping up as a franchise. I think Uncharted
is coming back.
Thank God for Knack. Sam, I would agree with you. I think you probably haven't seen the last of Uncharted, but I do think you've seen the last of it for many years.
I mean, Naughty Dog outright said if they weren't working on The Last of Us 2, they'd be working on the next Uncharted, and people completely skipped over that. So
I think they said that they wouldn't be working on an Uncharted game. Somebody else might. I'll have to double check. I don't.
No, they actually said someone else would work on the Uncharted.
No, they said they would love to. I'll find the interview because they did say it.
At any rate, I feel so right now we're saying for right now we know that Uncharted is done, right? The mainline Uncharted series is done. That's done. Whether or not it comes back in the future, we can have that conversation when it happens. But right now the series is done, which is good because I wouldn't have necessarily wanted an Uncharted. I felt like Uncharted 4 wrapped the series up perfectly. But now you're launching into Halo 6. Now you got Gears of War 5 coming. And it's like it's time to it's time to, and people say, well, John, what about Final Fantasy 15? You're a Final Fantasy fucking cockrider, and there's fucking 15 games now. He's like, yeah, but these games, none of these games are connected. Each game stands alone.
Yeah.
Every game does something. You can't
like Mario games and shit. It's like Mario.
Yeah, you can't compare these games to serialized games like Assassin's Creed. Personally, I think fucking Assassin's Creed should end. Give me something new. Fucking, I don't care if you took a year off. Call of Duty, please fucking end.
They need to take a break. Yeah.
Let World War II be in Call of Duty for a while, please, and do something else. But
wait, you're not hyped on the World War II thing?
No.
No.
Like it's okay. World War, but I mean, how many fucking
Medal of Honor?
Yeah. I mean, it's so. I don't know. I mean, I just. Yeah. And we can have that conversation about, well, what would they replace Halo and Gears of War with? but B Money's right. Like at some point you've got to roll the fucking dice and come up with something new because, I mean, look, Gears of War 4 sales stagnated quickly.
Yeah.
The game did not sell, like it sold fine for what it was. It was profitable, but it did not sell anywhere near comparable to Gears of War 3. Anywhere near comparable.
Look, I have no problem. I have no problem releasing more Halos and more Gears as long as they have other new shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the problem. But it seems like that's all they have.
But then again,
but let me. Is that hurting them though? Not doing that, like not releasing new shit.
I think so. I think
is that going to is that going to bite him in the ass next console gen?
I mean, I don't know, man. Because I mean, to bounce off something you said, Enrique, they had tried to release new shit, and it well,
it didn't resonate.
But John,
all of those games that they tried to release have been made by other studios.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Nothing that's been released from the first party. So if they're gonna roll the dice, let 343 do something different. Let the Coalition do something different. You know what I mean? Let Turn 10 do something different, and just let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Let Microsoft put the polish on it, and then let's see what happens.
Yo, they also return a Halo. Yo, just like skip it for
alternate,
like a bit, man. Yeah,
what they need is they need a studio. They need a studio comparable to Naughty Dog. They need a Naughty Dog, is what they need.
Well, they have Rare.
Here's the thing, though. Like, here's something I have to say. No, Rare is a crazy idea factory for them. Rare is doing something new, but Rare is like and I've heard this from Shinobi, that Rare is where they send a lot of crazy ideas to see if it floats or if it doesn't.
These crazy ideas, just work on Perfect Dark, for fuck's sake.
Dude, they are.
Yeah.
Like, just fucking, I mean, like, that's what gets me, Sam, is I'm like, Sea of Thieves, great. Yo-ho-ho and a fucking dead man tell no fucking tales. Like, I don't give a shit about pirates. Like, Sea of Thieves can be, I'm sure it's going to be fine, but it is not going to fucking sell. It is not going to fucking sell. A pirate MMO on a console is not going to fucking sell. What will sell?
But it's a games of service.
But it is that.
They're going to sell rare microtransactions with that shit.
And yet the technical alpha fills up every time they open up thousands.
And that's fine. I mean, dude, I mean, dude, like, I mean, there are other games where betas have done well and then completely fucking. I don't think there's any reasonable window. I mean, I just don't think Sea of Thieves is going to sell well. I mean, I'm sure many people who played the beta will probably fucking buy it, but it's not like millions of people are jumping into the fucking beta.
I would never use a beta or an alpha as an indicator of a game's success.
Bro, I don't even know what the game is really about still, man. I still need to see more on that shit.
Have you ever played Ark Survival? I mean, it's kind of in that same family.
If it's anything like it, I don't want to play it then.
I mean, look at what fucking Raider's done in the past. Like, we're talking about a company that is responsible for Donkey Kong Country, one of the greatest fucking platformers in the history of the medium. These people can do amazing fucking things, and you're working on Sea of Thieves.
But isn't it safe to say that like they're not the same company as they once were before?
They're not.
I think that's not really a fair thing to say because
I mean they wasted them on Kinect for a while.
Rare, but that's the thing, though. Like, people assume Rare is only making Sea of Thieves, and that was the point I was trying to make. Rare is working on a lot of things.
Yeah, they have.
Rare is actually 3 or 4 huge teams. They have a lot of people working on a lot of stuff, but they have to be careful because Microsoft now has the stigma of announcing games too far out and then them getting canceled or production issues or that's stuff I can't even talk about.
I mean, it's not like Sony's been any better in that regard.
But people only criticize Microsoft for it. That's the difference.
No, that's not true. That's not true, Sam. And we've we've criticized.
That's a whole other conversation. That's a whole other conversation.
As I was saying, the point is they're being more careful about when they announce this stuff now.
Yeah, but Sam, we've criticized Sony here too about stuff they've done in the first.
We're talking about general market, dude. Come on, context.
No, but I'm just saying, like in general, like we've done that here too, though. You know, like and people have too. You can't say that like other people haven't criticized Sony. People have. You know,
we get it. We get it as soon as they do something bad, yo. But like, sometimes people just want me to, or like people just to shit on Sony for no reason. But to be honest, they're doing good, yo. They're doing good. There's not really so much to complain about right now. Like,
just let me change my fucking PSN name for God's sake.
That's coming to C3, John.
No, it's
no, it won't.
Every fucking year is the same story. This is the E3. It's fucking happening.
There's plus and minuses with these consoles, but real quick, going back on the as far as like the games. New IP coming out. I would like to see. Okay, they're going to come out with Halo 6, right? you're probably going to see 2 more Gears. I would like to see 343 and Coalition go kind of like the way Turn 10, they brought in Playground Games and worked on Forza Horizon. And that's been successful. And they've worked with Turn 10 to have the same engine and everything, the same mechanics. So there's no difference between Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizon. Hopefully 343 and Coalition can do the same thing, bring in some more people and start working on new IP. Halo 6 needs to be the last one.
Well, here's the thing.
For a while.
Are you done? I don't want to cut you off.
No. Yeah.
Here's the thing.
One motherfucker, are you done?
No, I was just saying, like, here's the thing. If you look at the people the Coalition has hired, like, they hired experts, from previous Infinity Ward, from Treyarch, from some of THQ's people. The Coalition has a cluster ton of talent that they could apply to a lot of different genres. Like, I'll be honest, in terms of quality, I think they're Naughty Dog. They're just not being used on the proper IP to show it.
But Sam, we can't say they're Naughty Dog until we see a product or like see them show that. Like we can't say that. The talent might be there, but they have to put it. They have to put it out.
No, is it that Microsoft just doesn't give the developers creative freedom? I think maybe that's it. Like they just don't.
343 is closer to being Naughty Dog. You know what I mean? Like.
I don't know about that.
It's not the creative freedom. The Coalition chose to work on Gears. They were offered, like, hey, do you want to work on something else? Or we have this IP you can work on. They chose Gears. So it's not an issue of creative freedom.
They had another IP, though. They had another IP.
Honestly, I feel like the biggest Microsoft's biggest loss this generation was losing Bungie.
Oh, I agree.
Like when they lost Bungie, that was a blow.
I agree. When they lost,
that was a good studio, right?
But you got to think that some of the stuff that has happened, the misses that have happened, that's Don Matrick era.
But
when he started bringing in the Kinect and going away. Though. Yeah, no, you're right. Phil was there.
He was head of Microsoft.
But I give him the benefit of doubt because he's only been in there for 3 years. So we're transitioning away from Don Matrick era. Like Sea of Thieves and stuff, that was probably done under Don Matrick. So that's why we're still getting. So I think we got to give him the benefit of doubt. I think we're going to see some new IP. We're going to see, right? John, I don't know if I'm right. Did you hear Xbox is going to be at Gamescom and they're going to be at Tokyo? From what I heard.
I haven't.
So, I mean, that's what I heard. We're going to see something. Now, whether those games resonate, like I said earlier, that's up to them and up to us gamers.
But Fast, here's the thing. Like I hear a lot of people say we got to give Phil the benefit of the doubt, right? Like there's no doubt. Like Phil basically.
This is the year that he has his work has to come out. You know what I'm saying?
This is his year that what he's been working on the last 3 years going forward.
Here's the thing. I understand he got handed a shit sandwich. I get that.
Yeah.
But he was head of Microsoft first party studios prior to this.
No, you're right. He's responsible for Quantum Break and some,
I'm like, wait a minute. Like, there's a problem here. Like, I just like my frustration with them is that, and look, I mean, I said this earlier. The Xbox One is their third best console.
Yeah, it is.
And the 360 was their best, and the Xbox OG was better than the Xbox One. And I say that because the OG Xbox, they took the chance to.
They made a whole bunch of different games.
Yeah, we're getting fans.
That was because they were new. They had to take risks to compete with PlayStation.
I think take those same risks. Like
they do. You're right. They do.
Listen to Sony.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Yoshida talks about how like they'll release 10 games and make money off of 3 of them or 4 of them.
Yeah. I remember you saying that earlier. Yeah,
Microsoft can do the same exact thing. Like, Gears, Halo, Forza, they're gonna bring in the bread. Like, take the risk and bring out other games. That's all people want, man.
But Chio also knows that like he said, like they'll sell consoles taking that risk. They'll pull people into that ecosystem. They'll develop that brand loyalty. But
Microsoft can do the same thing. They built brand loyalty with a game that wasn't even theirs. They just they got Gears basically handed to them. That was Epic's property. You know what I mean? Like, as much as we say Microsoft game, that game was owned by Epic. If Epic took it somewhere else, they could have did that, but they just basically handed it to Microsoft. You know what I mean? Like, Microsoft could build games to bring people to their ecosystem. They just haven't had that yet. until they do, like more and more people are gonna.
I don't think that's gonna happen either. I think they're gonna continue this thing doing, third-party exclusive deals. I think that's just the way Microsoft operates. I think at the end of the day, that's how they operate.
Well, they're a services-based company now. I
think that's how they operate. So people wishing for them to buy studios. I think that's a low key at this point. That might be just a pipe dream. You know what I'm saying?
But the thing is that they don't have to buy anybody. Like
not buy, but like create and do all of that stuff. I don't know.
That's all. That's all they have to do is create good games. If they took 343 off of Halo right now and just said, go build a new IP, or if they took the Coalition off of Gears right now and said, take a break on Gears, we don't need it in 3 years, go build Shanghai. You know what I mean? They put out the demo for Shanghai like 3 or 4 years ago, whatever it was, 5 years ago. We never seen nothing out after that. After they basically got Gears handed to them. Now the Gears is out. You know what I mean? We see what it is. It's making money off the multiplayer. You know what I mean? Go build Shanghai now. Now let's see what you can do.
Definitely rotate between. They should definitely rotate.
Yeah, I remember that. I mean, before they were Coalition, they were Blast Tusk, and like you said, like they had Shanghai, which everyone saw that demo, and everyone was looking forward to that.
They're like, "Oh, what is this?"
People were like, "Whoa, what's this?" Yeah,
it was something brand new. You know what I mean? It looked like it was going to be like a third-person action game. Like it was just something different. They have the IPs to make something happen. They just are not utilizing them correctly.
I agree. Let 343 and Coalition alternate.
Yeah.
Let them work on something else in the interim.
Yeah.
Or just throw them on a longer development cycle for Halo and Gears. Doesn't mean they have to go away. It just means they don't show up very often.
I agree. I agree.
They have to go away.
I agree that they don't really need to go away.
Wait. Okay. So John says they have to go away. Sam says they don't.
I'm just being an asshole.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Put them on the
John, I mean, do you really think they have to go away?
To my Halo and Gears?
Yeah.
Honestly, yes.
They have 5 years, 5, 6 years development time.
Your dev time is more than enough. A 5 or 6 year.
People miss the games. I want them to come back at that point.
John, I mean, why do you think they need to get away? I mean, Mario hasn't gone away, Zelda hasn't gone away.
Yeah, but Master Chief doesn't. I mean, Master Chief isn't Mario. I mean, Marcus Phoenix isn't Link. I mean, they don't have the timeless quality that characters like Mario and Link or Princess Zelda do. I mean, they just don't, and neither does Nathan Drake.
And yet I bought an Xbox for Marcus Phoenix and Master Chief,
and
that
that's
I
fine.
haven't bought a Switch yet.
They made a lot of money for Microsoft.
I'm not talking about users. I'm talking about people in general. I mean, Mario games, Nintendo games routinely sell out both PS4 and Xbox One exclusive games. They do.
I just said down earlier that most Nintendo exclusives sell like any multiplayer game they release.
Yes, and there's a reason for that, because characters like Mario and Link are timeless. These games are timeless. Nathan Drake is cool. Master Chief is cool, but they will never be on the level of Mario or Link. And they just won't. They won't. And that doesn't make them bad characters. That doesn't make the games bad. They're not bad. I love these games. But that's just a fact of life. Like, ask any, because Mario especially, like, let's just take Mario, right? Mario is part of our greater culture outside of video games in a way that people don't really realize. Like, ask soccer mom down the street, well, who's Nathan Drake? I don't know. He's my trainer. Like, who's Master Chief? My dad was a Master Chief in the Navy. Ask the same woman who Mario is. Oh yeah, Mario. She's gonna everybody knows who fucking Mario is.
Mario and Luigi. Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So I mean.
Yeah, they're on a different level. They're on a different level. Like,
I get that some people buy. Yeah. Like I get that some people. I get that some people buy these consoles for Nathan Drake and for Master Chief, but they don't. But these games don't sell the way Nintendo exclusives do, and the characters don't have that recognition. They're just not timeless characters. Yeah,
they don't anymore. Last gen Halo and Gears were big.
I mean, yeah, they were big.
At this point in time, you're right. At this point in time, it's time for them to move on. 6 needs to be the last one. And Gears needs,
I don't think any character, and you guys might disagree with me, but I don't think any character is ever going to capture the magic the way like Mario has.
Oh no.
Or the way Link has, or like Kirby. I mean, these characters. There is something about Nintendo characters that is just.
Yeah.
Or Leisure Suit Larry.
Or right, yeah, Leisure Suit Larry, or fucking.
That's for our gen. Yeah.
I don't know why Leisure Suit Larry is not a character in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I mean, I'm just driving like a fucking dildo cart, like a
Oh my god!
But like just like some big hairy balls for wheels.
Oh shit!
But like honestly, yeah, these games have permeated our greater culture outside of video games in a way that I personally feel no other character is ever really going to be able to replicate. And honestly.
Yeah,
I honestly feel like ironically, I feel like the characters that have the best chance of doing that are not Master Chief, not Marcus Phoenix, not Nathan Drake, but the characters in Destiny.
What?
Mm-hmm. Think about how
really.
That's a fascinating conversation because I actually kind of see where you're going with that. Well, unfortunately, I'm about to fall asleep standing up. I gotta go to sleep. Okay.
All right, Sam.
Yeah.
I'm
but
leaving.
I will have that conversation with you at some other point because I kind of see where you're going with that.
Yeah, I gotta cut too, guys. Sorry to ditch y'all a little bit early.
I gotta get going too. Yeah,
no worries. It's all good. We'll go ahead and wrap up the podcast. No, seriously, guys. Great conversation. We'll have to get back to this whole Destiny, character thing.
I don't know about that, but we'll find out.
I can tell right now, Sam understands where I'm going with it. I'll explain it next week.
Yeah, I'm kind of interested too. Yeah, I think it'd be a great conversation. We'll talk about that. But gentlemen, thank you again for hopping on tonight. John, always a pleasure. Sam, likewise. Kofi, thank you, man. Jack, thank you. Fastback, we thank you. B Money, congratulations again. And thank you again. Hey, Jack, are you going to buy a Switch next week?
Maybe next week?
Yeah.
Not next week, man. We'll see. Not next week, though.
After E3, he's going to be convinced. I bet.
Oh, possibly. That's a possibility.
Hey, real quick, Enrique, because I've got to drop right now because I'm actually driving. I'm driving home for the weekend tomorrow, and I've got to get up early. But real quick, anybody in chat, if you have not subscribed to Superperform Gamescast, please go and do so right now, or I will fucking find you. I will find you, and I will look at you in an unhappy manner.
Make you play Mario Kart.
A fucking blessing. Everybody should be playing Mario Kart.
Speak to you in Christopher Walken's voice.
I will. Listen, if you don't subscribe to Super the Form Gamescast right now, I'm going to find you. I'm going to make you play Ride the Hell Retribution. You want to talk about a shitty game? Fucking Ride the Hell Retribution. But anyway, I got to dip. I'll see you guys later.
See you later, dude.
Come suck. All right, John. See you, man. All right, so on that note, we'll go ahead and wrap up the podcast. But gentlemen, thank you again. Jack Move, Kofi, and Fastback. Thank you for joining me last minute. So
yeah, thank you for the invite. Yeah,
no, I definitely appreciate it. And everyone in the live chat, thank you again. And if you haven't subscribed to us, give us a sub and a thumbs up. And we'll be back on next week on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So other than that, we'll catch you guys next week. Peace.
Yep.